Okay, I think I'm good. I had to go and fix some stuff before the stream started. I have for my microphone, I don't actually plug this straight into USB. I have a 4x4 interface, which is a fancy thing that lets me take like 4 audio inputs and also get 4 outputs from it. It's a whole thing. Way more than I need for this, but the thing is if I accidentally like leave it on, it like kind of goes into a coma. So I have to close it down, reboot it, or turn on, turn off. And then sometimes I have to go another step further and reboot the whole thing. Anyway, got that figured out. So the plan here is I'm going to go through, I'm going to get every single survivor, do every single psychopath, the big usual. Oh god, I can hear myself. Don't want that. Main thing, I was surprised. I didn't, when I was playing this, I didn't actually look at the achievements. And now that I did, I realized there's no real achievements associated with story mode for doing like all survivors and cases and stuff. Like in the original Dead Rising, there was like the Saint achievement, and I think there was one in Dead Rising 2 as well. And then there's actually there's none, I don't think at all. So that was really surprising to me. So I'm going to try. I mean, maybe it's like hidden somewhere. Like I know games will sometimes do that. Like for all I know, there's an achievement for wearing a certain clothing item, and then to get that clothing item, you need to do all that. I know like Assassin's Creed 2 did that, where it's like, wow, there's no achievements for collectibles. That's awesome. But there was an achievement for a cape. To like wear a cape in a town, then you got that cape from the collectibles. So it's like, oh, well, you just renamed an achievement, so it didn't sound bad. Anyway, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna be skipping cutscenes and stuff now because I did already. I should know it. But I want to beat this, so I'll go through. I'll try and get more achievements if I can. I can't guarantee it. I just want to go through, make sure I unlock everything. I really don't know what I want to do with this game because I'm really in this point where I don't know if I like achievements or not. Like I used to be really big into achievements because when you only had a couple games, it was a great like incentive to like play them more. Like, oh yeah, well if I don't, Halo 3's the only game I have, so yeah, of course I'll go beat it on Legendary or what have you. But now it's like, for example, I'd like to get all the achievements in Dead Rising 1, but some of them like what the indoor and outdoorsmen, it's like literally, that's not hard. That's just I need to leave my console on for 2 hours uninterrupted and just like. I guess I could do it. I mean, I could just go like edit while I do it and stuff. It's like really all at the same time, like what does it mean? I've really lost kind of a perspective for that stuff, which is too bad because like historically, I enjoyed it. I don't think I can use these yet. They give you this 2x4 and it's already breaking. That being said, I should be a lot better at it. I'd like to get the Proto Man outfit and stuff, just because. If anything, I want to get that stuff for potential future streams. Does that work yet? So, because I know I haven't looked too much about doing challenge runs for Dead Rising 2 or off the record, but I mean, I assume I'd like to. It kind of depends on what I want to go doing forward. Because right now here's what I have planned. I have Chop Till You Drop probably in 2 weeks because I'd like to have my sister there. She gets back Friday. But, fuck her. She gets back Friday, but not until, like, essentially after my stream, because she's flying in from, like, California, which I guess really isn't that far. So, but I'd like to delay that, so I have a couple options. I could start Dead Rising 3, which I don't mind. Like, I kind of like the idea of, but then I don't want to go, like, Dead Rising 3 and then not play it for 2 weeks. I kind of want to do it after Chop Till You Drop. So I'm looking mainly for probably a challenge run of Dead Rising 1, 2, or off the record. I was going to look more at the achievements, because like the other thing I don't want to do, which, speaking of achievements, is I don't want to just be like, hey, here, come on stream, watch me just go look up the PP stickers. So like, that's just actually kind of boring. Like, I get it sometimes, like, you know, like, again, when Dead Rising 1 was like my only game, it's like, well, of course I'm going to go do the PP stickers. Or like, well, you know, I'm still trying to level up, then yeah. But anymore, it's like, man, there's so much more. I could go edit videos in that time, and it'd be so much more worth it. Which is like a thing, because like I've been wanting to talk about this. I've been putting a lot of time into that D&D series I want to get started. Nice. And so I have to like somehow like lure zombies up there before I activate the grinder, because it feels like I'm better off just doing this. Oh wait, I only need money. Or do I get money for killing zombies? I don't actually. I haven't actually looked too much into how this game works, but I feel like this is way more effective unless I can somehow unlock a double area. I do think I get an achievement if I can get to a golden event, but I don't think that's going to happen right now with only 10 seconds left. I assume there's like a gimmick, like there's more awesome items hidden somewhere, or like for all I know maybe I'm supposed to go for these particular zombies that are dressed like in these red pants. I don't know. I should actually pull up chat while I'm here. I'm all kind of behind since I had that issue earlier. I hate the start menu. Anyway, I'm trying to start this D&D series, but it's been like a whole thing to like work it out. Like right now I'm looking into doing some artwork. But more than anything, it's like each episode's like an hour before I cut it down, but it's probably 8 to 10 hours of work just to like, from the time we film it to the time I'm like, this is done, it's probably 8 to 10 hours of work. Which would mean like, or even, yeah, if not more. I mean, it's like, if I really wanted to do it like weekly, like the ideal case, I would have to like get up at like 8 and just edit and have everything ready, and that would just be horrendous. Like, oh my god, because editing is not fun.
Check me out.
But it's just one of the things you gotta kind of have to do. Don't give me the tutorial. God damn, I thought I turned that off, but I guess it doesn't count. No, I left it on for off the record. That's what it was. But yeah, I keep derailing myself because I'm like, what am I doing again? But anyway, so I'm hoping. So this last time I got made of kind of a bitch. Well, these guys are here. Do I have to get this photo again? This was really good the first time around. I mean, maybe I'm missing. This might all be optional. I know it was in the original Dead Rising. You had the option of just hitting B in the helicopter, and you would just skip that entirely. Because honestly, that helicopter section was very long, and you can't. It wasn't good enough to actually level up ever, I think. If I recall, you can get like 5,000 PP from it, and that's not particularly helpful. This looks like, I think this environment might have been kind of ripped from Case West. A little bit. It looks very similar with how these boxes are laid out, but there's also like that back. Like just something about that back part looks like it was taken. Okay. I don't actually know. I've done very little research on Off the Record since I see they're like blender hats. Anyway, since I played it last, like this is the first things I just looked at the achievements because there's a lot of spoilers in the achievements, so I've been putting it off. But now that I beat the game, it's like, oh, whatever. I have not yet done sandbox mode. I wanted to do that off stream though, just because I didn't know how long or how interesting it was going to be. Is he like getting him other stuff? Like, is that like the money? I don't understand quite why there's all this stuff he's doing. But maybe I could just leave. I haven't actually done this part in a while. No. I'm pretty sure they eventually leave, or you get like a photo, and this is just like letting you do this. And then once you leave, you get attacked by those guys, which I'm told you can kill those guys. But yeah. God, what else is up? I keep derailing myself and like, oh yeah, I was talking about this and I meant to talk longer, then I don't. Anyway, I need more time in my day. I've been meaning, like, I keep meaning to move over to Twitch. I just haven't had time to like sit down and test it. Like I was going to like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do it this Saturday. It's gonna be great. And then I like had to work this week. Turns out I gotta work tomorrow, which is like, it's like weird because like I do like software development, so. Work doesn't mean going into work. It just means I gotta wake up at 8 a.m. and I have to essentially remote into my work. And it's when they're pushing out all the new code. So it's a lot. It's very. Why is that not working on you guys? It's very passive. Oh, that was interesting. What? Oh my god! Yeah, I do have the double area, and that. Oh my god! That control scheme is so much better. Oh yeah. See, one of the things I always thought was an issue with Dead Rising 1 was the fact that it was very difficult to do any good moves because they all like clash with each other on the control scheme. Essentially, the issue was the camera was not that important, but they put on a really important button, the left trigger. And now that that's no longer a thing, it's so much easier to execute all those moves. Like I can be like, plant, do it, instead of what was happening before.
I think you've overstayed your welcome a bit, Frankie.
Call me if you're up for a photo shoot.
Oh god, it's yelling at me.
Your performance was a little lip.
I'm trying to turn up the bit rate
You must
of
have
this
taken pills for that at your
because so like normally like I have to just like iterate these streams and I improve my internet. I did not knock it up from 720 to 1080. One, because it wouldn't matter that much if I don't up the bit rate. Two, like I want to do it gradually, not all just like at once. But either way, I'm hoping. Tell me if the stream starts having issues, because then I can turn it like back down, or if it's not at all, I'll start turning it up. Because essentially, my understanding of this is you have your resolution, which is essentially like how detailed that picture is, and then you have your bit rate, which is essentially how fast it's sending the data. So I could stream 4K. It's just it would be a 4K shitty image, whereas I could do 720 but up the bit rate to like max, and then it'd be a really good 720. That can be like a little hard for me though, because I also have to essentially I get a preview of the stream while I do this, so I have to like upload, download. It's a whole thing. Even with like all my Ethernet and stuff, sometimes my router just takes like a shit, and then it's like I know how to fix it, but it's like 10 to 20 minutes to fix it where I don't have internet. That's really not conducive to a stream at all. So it's something that I just have to like every time I do it, just like do a couple other tests. And please, any feedback you have, just like drop it in the chat, drop it on me on like Twitter or something. It helps so much because I can't sit and like watch my streams from the back, or like I can't even go back and like watch a previous one, because either I go watch my file, which of course is going to be in the same quality I recorded it in, or it's going to not lag. So I'd be like, oh man, this is awesome, turn up to max settings, because the data still gets there. The point is it's just slow, so it won't tell me that, oh, it's lagging constantly or anything. Man, I was too slow on that. I keep like not remembering how to take a photo, because it's like it's left trigger, right bumper, X. So I'm nowhere near as like reactive on it as I used to be. Because like Dead Rising 1 is just like left trigger X, and you can like pretty much pop anything. So if you like forget about photo ops like that, it's not nearly as big of a deal.
Oh my god!
There's an achievement for getting a survivor in a dramatic situation. I guess that's not dramatic. Can you die for me? Okay, I don't know what that outtake is. But either way, so it's been interesting playing Dead Rising off the record, because one thing I kind of noticed is the game tries to a lot more than Dead Rising 2 does, and I think that's one of the things why it's legitimately harder to do this than Dead.
It's like all her food now! It went bad! She needs meat. Fresh meat! Sure.
Okay.
I can get some.
So this should have fixed it. So I don't know if you saw my channel. I have this. I put out some Gears of War videos, or just one mainly. I also stream Gears on Sundays. But I had turned up the recording quality on OBS because I wanted to record better. Because normally I downscale it on my end to 720 then send it, and I didn't change that back after I was done. So I think it was sending a 1080 image, and that was what was causing some of the bitrate issues. But that should be fixed now. So let me know if it's better. I can't. It's one of those things where I wish it showed me like an actual like chart of how everything was like working, but it really doesn't. It just says, essentially, it just says working, not working. That's it. So like everything in between is just like entirely like I have to go off of you guys, which sucks. But I think it's more of like if you're like freaking PewDiePie and you have like thousands of people watching you, it's pretty easy to get like reports and stuff on every little detail. Not so much on my end. Plus, ideally, in a perfect world, I'd have a guy watching it for me and like editing that stuff, but I can't. I have to like do both at once, which is why I'm like letting this play so I can actually talk. But yeah, I'd really need. I had notes normally I write down. Do I have a pen? I have cardboard. Yeah, I restarted it, so I bet that's why. Is it still choppy? I can look more. I got this boss fight. I can look it up. My roommate just might be doing something, or who knows what, honestly. I think it's, the source of the issue is, I think my ISP essentially just has like 10 gigabytes or something that goes towards the building. And I think sometimes it'll just like, that'll take a crap, like honestly. And I could like call them, but unless you're like, they're like right there where it's a problem. Here, let me pause. Unless you're like, oh, it's a problem now, give them a call. It doesn't really work that way. So I'm looking like for a router that's a little bit better at handling traffic. I could reboot my router. That would probably fix the issue. I have to do this whole NAT refresh, which would take like 10 minutes. But I might do that quickly. I just have to make sure my roommate's cool and he's not like, I don't know, Skyping his grandmother that's about to die or something. That would be really bad. But I can do that quickly. So give me, yeah. Oh yeah, he does. So let me look. I'll give that a shot. The stream health seems to be better. It's not easy to tell, I'm sure, when I have a static image. But I will refresh it. Yeah, it might have been the delay because I stopped the stream and restarted it, so it would have skipped for you, essentially. But maybe I'll let it play. But if it keeps happening, I'll refresh. It's this whole thing where, I don't know how much you want me to get into, like, how a router works, or how IP6 works, but, it's just an issue. And my ISP is not the most helpful, but anyway, I think what they do is they just, like, essentially have, like, fiber optic to the building, and then that connection split. And you can, yeah, it's yelling at me again. I'm gonna reboot it here. So I'm gonna reboot this because it's yelling at me again. I don't know what it's doing.
Dad, no feels so good. Snowflake! Kitty! Come, kitty! You still hungry, girl? Take me, Snowflake. Dad feed you. Dad take care of you. Fresh meat.
Okay. I think we're good. I can turn off this broadcast. Cool, cool. Alright. Tell me when you start seeing stuff, just so I know everything's good. I had to... So, quick explanation what happens here. So the router I have doesn't handle a couple things very well. And it's also just a router. It needs to be rebooted often, but it's one of those things you never do. Essentially, technical here, you have there's two kinds of IP addresses. There's IP4 and IP6, and essentially they're moving from IP4 to IP6 to fix a pre-existing problem where IP addresses are three or four or five, whatever, fields of 0 to 256, right? Or 255, 0 to 255. And when someone made it, when they came up with that, like, surely they would never run out of IP addresses. That's so many. Well, now it's like, essentially, like, each device needs an IP address so that they did run out of it. I mean, just like me alone, I have an IP address for my router, my desktop, my laptop, my phone, I think something else. Hell, I even have an IP address for this, like, other project I'm working on, this, like, circuit project. So that's, like, 6 just to my name. And you multiply that by every single person, every router, everywhere, you run out really quickly. So instead, there's a hack called NAT, or not called NAT. It's I forget the actual name, but essentially your router fakes a longer address, and what it does is, okay, well, instead of you all getting an IP address, we're gonna have one just for your house. Like, your router has an IP address, and then your router makes up the rest. So it uses what's called the port field to fake it. So it'll say, go to this IP, it's this port. And then your router knows, like, well, that's all fake. I know that it's coming from this place and has this port. So you actually mean send it to this fake IP and send it this and whatever. The issue is it has this long table of where, like, what fake address goes with what, like, source. So it knows that, oh, you plugged in your Xbox, its new IP is 1, so everything from Xbox Live send to 1. The problem is it never deletes that table, so that next time it pulls on, it's like, oh, Xbox. And now that's in port 2, so send it to port 2. But that first entry's still there, and it keeps adding and adding. So eventually you end up with this issue where, like, this is really bad because we have 2 Xbox Ones on my network, is it doesn't know which one to send it to, because, like, which one was the last one, because they look identical from the network perspective. So it's like, oh, I'm going to send packets that way. Well, that doesn't work. Essentially, it's sending it nowhere. It's literally just like sending electrons to an empty socket. So that kills your network. So even though I'm, like, supposed to be getting higher, it's because I am getting higher. It's just my router's being like, it's literally just like throwing it in the trash. Long explanation. It should be done with IP6, but what I have to do is I have to turn, there's a fix for that called UPnP, Universal Plug and Play, and I have to turn that off, reboot, turn it on, reboot, and then that means that won't work, because it will have wiped that table, because it thinks it no longer needs it. So, long explanation, but that's essentially what kind of happens. It doesn't necessarily affect my computer too much, I don't think, but there's a couple things I can do to fix it, but it's just like, ultimately, the source of the problem is I need a better router that's very specifically designed for this stuff, and I just need to get out of an apartment building. Like, I could go up to the 100 down, 30 up. I don't want to, it's expensive. Past that, you have to get, like, a business account, which is awesome because there's so much support for it, and it's great. It would also, like, triple my bill for, like, a very small increase. It would just give me a lot of support, and I don't want to do that. So let me just double check that this stream's going, which I forget I can do that separately. I'm trying to leverage all my tools. I wish I just had, like, I've been tempted before to have my laptop open and just watch the stream as it goes, because I have, like, 2 preview streams I can activate on the page, but those aren't always the same. They're a little bit different than the ones you guys see. So also I don't want to just be, like, running 3 live videos, because that would also hurt my thing. So yes, perfect. That's enough of confirmation. I'm gonna go save Snowflake. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I killed Ted. He's easy. I don't think that's something anyone cares about. So this is like my thing. I made a video on how to do this, and that's another thing. Let me write this down. I have like a little note card I'm writing stuff down on, just so when I go on a tangent, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. So anyway, I made this like how to tame Snowflake video, and I was really thinking it was going to take off so much more, because even like before the remasters came out, there was no good video on how to tame Snowflake. So I was like, oh well, here I found like a strategy. It always works. It's easy setup. Here, look, I can do it from level 1, and contact me. I thought, like, I'll tell you, I'll show you how to do it. I'll come do it with you in co-op, the whole thing. And surprisingly, it just never like took off the way I hoped. And you could argue like maybe that's like there's other reasons for that. Like maybe I just didn't advertise it well, or maybe it's like really there's not that many people like looking for it. Because I don't know if people even care about achievements as much as they did like kind of back in the prime 360 days. Like I know like achievements or trophies like aren't as big of a deal on say PS4 as they are in like 360 and stuff. So I can easily see people like, oh well, I'm not gonna platinum the game anyway, so why bother with that? I'm going to explain this again, just in case there's anyone new. Essentially, I'm killing these zombies, and we're going to go tame Snowflake. This is like essentially the trick, is Snowflake will run away from you if she can't reach you. And there's kind of a glitch where, I don't know if it's intended or not, but if Snowflake's close enough to you, she has essentially an approach to the stake and approach to attack you. But they start on the approach to attack you is like a longer distance than the stake. So if you're too close and she's too close, she will always go after you instead of the stake. And essentially the issue with most strategies is it's not possible to get Snowflake far enough away that it'll work out, because you can't put it down and run away before Snowflake attacks you. So using that trick, I can place this and I can stand near here, and that will let me send Snowflake far enough away so I can go back up and pick up the stake and do whatever I need to without her like essentially just running in circles around you, never going far enough to actually get to it. See, if she had run straight at me while I was doing it, she would see me and be like, oh, I'm gonna kill this guy, and not see the stake. Plus you have the added benefit of if she does somehow ignore it, you just hop up on the ledge and it's fine again. It's definitely, I think it's by far the best strategy I encountered. It's not the fastest. Like if you can do it normally and just like literally throw stakes at Snowflake, that is fast, because in theory, there's no reason you can't just make 3 stakes in a line and she'll run one to the other. But it's really rare. Like I could, in theory, place all 3. I've actually never tried to place all 3 at once. I should really try that. But it also helps if you are gonna do it, not this way. One thing you want to see is, like I said, it's almost like she has these attacks that involve the run up. If you see her roaring, that means she's not in essentially her attack animation on you, and that means that's a very good sign. And you can even see that when you don't do it this way, she never roars. It's a weird thing. And they might have fixed it so she's less temperamental for off the record, but I can't confirm that. I'm not experienced enough. And it's one of those things where I make this point all the time that Dead Rising has all the trappings of what could be an amazing like speed game, or say a really hard, really awesome technical game to like run over and over. It's one of the reasons I like doing those like challenge runs through Dead Rising, but it also doesn't have the the content depth. Like it has these amazing systems that could be used in so many different ways, but there's not that much to do in it past like all the very scripted like save this person kind of things. And so going back, the reason that's kind of an issue is I could go in and really figure out what exactly does make Snowflake tick, but at the same time it's like there's only one AI that applies to, and I think the average person in the run-through wouldn't bother dealing with Snowflake. I mean, to be fair, the only reason I capture Snowflake a lot of time on my run-throughs is just because, 1, I have a strategy that makes it easy. 2, it's easier than killing her most of the time. I don't think I've actually killed Snowflake as a boss. And now that I mention it, I should do a guide on that, because I actually think it's probably pretty hard to fight Snowflake as a straight-up boss, because she's so, like, agile, but I've never tried. It's kind of like one of my, like, guilty things about Dead Rising. It's like I've never fought that boss. I have the same thing in Dark Souls 2, where I've never fought the Ancient Dragon. I fought the Ancient Dragon, but I've never beaten it, because it's, like, known to be... It's meant to be a very optional boss, and it has these attacks that essentially fill the entire arena with fire, so you have to like be very specific about where you go. And I've just never had the heart to do it. Plus, its run up is just atrocious. So I put it off. Oh, I forgot Lenny. I forgot Lenny again. Oh my god. So I'm gonna have to go back. God damn it. I knew I was going to do this. Damn it. I was like, don't forget Lenny again. I was gonna pull up like a list of survivors. I couldn't find one. I was gonna make one, but that's gonna take some time. I wasn't gonna have it ready by tonight's stream. Like, there's an awesome infographic someone made for Dead Rising 1 that shows all the scoops, when they're active, prerequisites, stuff like that. And I would love to make that contribution. Like, one of the biggest things I feel bad about is I use the Dead Rising wiki all the time, like the wiki one, and I've never updated, even though when I know this is wrong, because I've, like, for example, the Cletus, when he spawns in on Dead Rising 1, at different parts of the site, they'll list, oh, he spawns in at 1, and when he spawns in at 2, he spawns in at 3. I'm like 99% sure it's 3, but there's no reason I can't just like go in game and like spend 30 minutes and figure out exactly and fix every single link. I really should do that, because, yeah. But on the other hand, it's also like, it's not that big of a deal. Especially when you can find those other infographics. But I've been meaning to make one. Like, I've actually, one thing I thought about doing is just making essentially a partner site to go with my channel, because that way I can like put content up that's not directly video related, because there's a bunch of stuff like that. Oh, I'd be totally willing to make an infographic, be like, hey, this is always going to be here if you ever want to see it. It's all the scoops in Dead Rising 1, 2, off the record, 3, I guess, that thing. But I'd want to put it in an exact place that's still like, honestly, I want to be able to like, I kind of would want it to be traceable back to me somewhat. I don't want to just be like, hey, I spent all this time and I just threw it out there and I never got credit for it. Like, I don't want to be like, I need to make money off of it, but at the same time, it's like, if I'm gonna do it, at least be like, hey, I got other stuff you might want to see. Like, hey, you see that perfect. Oh yeah, you see that scoop with I don't know, the tiger? Well, here's a link right to the video on how to capture the tiger. Stuff like that. Okay, so I have to go help Lenny here. So yeah, I was hoping to do that so I didn't miss anyone, because there's another hidden scoop that I really regretted missing. Is the, what's it called? It's the one where you play poker in the Atlantica Casino. High rollers. That's it. One, because it's 3 survivors, so that meant I didn't save everyone. And once that was gone by, it's like, well, then there's no point in necessarily saving anyone if you're not going for everyone. So it was just like, oh, well, shit. 2, it meant that I just had all these like magazines for no reason. And then like 3, it gives you $1 million, which is exactly what you need for that scoop for TK anyway. So if I had done that, I would have like had so much of a better time when I was doing the run through originally. I don't know. Would you watch a stream of me just going through and doing PP stickers? Like, I'm not gonna be like quiet or anything about it. Like, I'm not gonna be like that guy.
Let's move.
But do you my party? Oh no, I have to turn on. That's why. What's the worst mission of the game? The poker one, because it's bad. I prefer that one over the Ante Up, just because Ante Up's like not technically a scoop. Oh wow, Lenny just joined. It's like not technically a scoop, but I still kind of like feel. My criteria is whenever I was doing those like challenge runs, I would go and get essentially the night helmet, which would always not be unlocked because I was doing it from level 1. Lenny, stop getting blocked by the tiger. I guess it's because he's scared, but.
Let's hustle it up.
There we go. So I want him to get in this. Lenny, come on. It's like, this can be a real pain to set up, but it's so amazing. Like, when you're level, like, 1 and you're so slow, if you can get this set up, it saves you so much time. I'd say, honestly, this is the skateboard of Dead Rising 2. Because you have the actual skateboard in this game, but it's way too much of a pain to use. Do I want to bring this again? I kind of do. But yeah, high roller sucks. I don't mind the poker. I just hate how like required it is, and you can get kind of screwed. Luckily, at least with the high rollers, they clear like you have plenty of time to do all of it. And with it being $1 million and Terra's reality not being that feasible to find people when you need it, at least that does give you $1 million. You're not really gonna run out of time, and they're all pretty good survivors. So it's not the worst, and luckily it's not like required or anything. Whereas like Ante Up is just like a giant middle finger. Like the AI just like hates you. Like the AI is like either like Jack, he will just constantly, he will only ever bet if he has like a royal flush. But he's the one guy you gotta like get out. So plus he definitely has like a higher chance than you do of getting higher cards. So even with the 3 gambling magazines, he cheats. And then you have like the freaking barn burn chick, who is like, she's like that asshole, and like if you're like a kid and you play board games, who's like, I'm not gonna win, but I'm gonna make sure you don't win either. Or like, say if you're gonna play like I don't know, like a Risk or something, it's like, oh, or Monopoly, like I'm not gonna play, I'm just gonna give all my money to that guy because fuck you. And then it's like, come on, really, you're gonna be a dick about it? That's what she does. She just essentially gives all this money to Jack, and then Jack just sits on it. It's really annoying. Anyway, Lenny, go. That works. If I can remember how to drop this. Oh, I should have used the bumpers. That would have been more obvious. Come on. Surprisingly, for this to be made into the Defiler, the Fire Axe I've always hated as a weapon. Alright. I really want to get the Proto Man suit outfit, because I figure it's way better than Dead Rising 2's. In Dead Rising 2, you get the night outfit, which would temporarily double your health until you used up the first half, essentially. Really specific use. But, if you get the Proto Man, which is what this helmet's from, I believe it just flat out speeds you up, which is a godsend. It's not gonna be too crazy. I just want to have a save file with it unlocked in case I want to do something like, I don't know. Some challenge run requires it. Normally I would do a challenge run from level 1 just because I feel like that's... Yeah. It always gets me that you don't hit B to get out of that. You have to hit back to check your watch. So you'll see me like go between those menus.
This way.
Alright, come on. Who's the lucky? Lenny, perfect. I had thought about doing, there's an achievement for getting Denise here to actually fight Sergeant Boykin. Like the last boss of the story mode. I guess you don't have overtime mode in this, but so not Stacy. But I was like, I'm not gonna bother. I want to go get everyone. Then at least I can say that, okay, I got everyone. I don't have to go do like save one person to get a story card or what have you. Plus, I just wanted to also show I can do it, figure some stuff out. I felt I kept running out of time, so I never made weapons. That meant everything took longer, and it was this whole thing. So hopefully Denise doesn't get caught here. Dead Rising, the AI in this is not, I'm not going to say worse, it's just like they love to get grabbed. There, see, Denise is grabbed. So right now my only hope is I actually need to exit the area so she gets ungrabbed because it'll unload the zombies. I'll come back in and then she should be able to run a little bit farther. It's not something I like doing because it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're going off the in-game clock, like say if you just want to try and do everything possible like in one run through, oh, I guess she's still... That's dumb. Interesting. So, I did not know this. So I guess time does pass in that little window where the survivors are talking to you. I don't know if you noticed I was losing health on my survivors. That seems kind of dumb that that's not a freeze frame. I just always assumed it was, but I guess not. See, now Denise can run. Anyway, this is one of the things where it's like... This is technically a very powerful move because it lets me run straight to the end. She's grabbed. Oh, I guess I can get Lenny too, and he just got close. It lets me essentially like save a bunch of time instead of running back, but at the same time, it's a bitch to watch because it's just loading screens. So now I might as well go back and save her because she's the only one left. And hopefully I should be able to afford the card now, especially if I do that scoop. So I'm not too worried. Plus, I'm just going to be a little bit better in general, I think, about getting money as I go. Because those are game changers. The car in Paradise Plaza, not Paradise, in Royal Flush Plaza is huge. Because you'll come back with like one single survivor, a whole bunch. Oh, she can't open the door. That's why. Let's maybe take it back. That might not be that good strategy at all if she can't open the door. Anyway. If you come back when you only have like one survivor, the ability to just drive them all the way to the end is so powerful. Or even if you have like two, like I just did now, get in, have one person get in, drive them, like stay here, drive back, get the other guy. It's still faster than like trying to get them to like walk through zombies. It's amazing. And actually, like I didn't know this until like a couple of challenge runs in. It's actually very feasible to buy the car really early on, starting from zero cash. Like I think if I had to go back and do more more Dead Rising 2 challenge runs, particularly hard ones where that was allowed, I think you could probably grind the car out by day 2 if I really looked at it. But so that should be everyone. I'm gonna spend some time here. So yeah, I'm gonna spend some time here to try and find another list of the scoops, just because I'm always afraid there's gonna be other hidden files, which is not what I like. I hate hidden stuff unless it's literally somewhere it's like hidden, but you'll go there anyway. Which is essentially exactly what Case West was. As I went to the wrong game. I went to Case West. That's what I'm talking about. Case West. I'm on the wiki right now. I also made another cup of coffee while we're having stream issues, and I'm looking forward to having it, but it's too hot. I hate hot drinks, but I like coffee. So I always end up forgetting about my coffee because I'm like, oh, it'll cool down. And then instead it gets really cold. And then it sucks because like coffee has this thing where the longer it's hot, the more it loses its flavor. In which case, that's why like coffee sucks if you reheat it. But if I just let it sit there hot, it just turns really flat and kind of sucks. Come on, I need to find like this link. It's like I don't know if you ever played here we go, Case and Challenges. Going through the wiki is like playing. There's a game. I don't know what it's called. It's called like the Hitler game, where essentially you go on Wikipedia, you hit like random article, and you try and find how fast can you get from whatever article put you on to Adolf Hitler, and like how many clicks. Because eventually you'll be like, oh, it's Brad Pitt. Well, it's like he's a movie star, so let's go movies. And here's a movie about World War II, and then Hitler. 3 clicks or something like that. But sometimes you'll get something like really like obscure, and then that can be hard. Like, oh, hey, here's a page on like a piece of bacteria that were around when there was dinosaurs. I'll be like, oh. Let's get this going. Obviously, using the search bar is cheating. Okay. Damn, I was hoping there's like gonna be a good list. So let's go survivors. Damn. No one's made like a good graphic, which that really sucks. So I'm gonna have to be careful here. Because like they have scoops and cases, but I don't necessarily know if that's like sometimes they'll show essentially the unlisted ones. So let's see. Locations. Damn it, no they don't. They show like only the new ones, but everything else is still shuffled around. Besides the cases. And the cases are easy. Why would you show me the cases? Like everything in the game yells at you about doing the cases. Irvin. There's some of these I don't recognize because I don't even know their names. Yeah, it's like there's all these guys like, this is an unmarked mission, this is an unmarked mission. It's like, come on. I'm gonna search. I meant to do this before and then I had all those technical difficulties. Off the record. Yeah. I feel though like one of the reasons the Elder Scrolls wiki is so good though is like one, it was started when you like needed to use the wiki, like when you're playing like Daggerfall and stuff, you need to be able to look stuff up. Plus I think just like with people like who have like mods, it's very useful to be like, I need to look up this NPC's pathing cycle. So they have really detailed stuff like that. Like I remember going on for like Skyrim and be like, this guy, he sleeps from like 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. Then he gets up, goes a walk around this district, opens his shop until this time, then he goes to lunch for 30 minutes every day, and then goes back. It's like super detailed. It's like really weird. Freaking, there's like a game fact question. That's like the best thing to have. And the question, is there a list of everyone? No. And then it was just like, this question has been answered and closed. Like, it's like going to like freaking, Ellie, what's that called? The it's like the tech site that you go to, Stack Overflow, where like all the answers are like super dumb, and it's like not helpful at all. GameFAQs save me. Come on. GameFAQs like was such a big thing when Dead Rising 1 originally came out. And I feel like it's because GameFAQs isn't searchable internally, it's actually kind of died off because of that. Like there's like if you go back to GameFAQs, there's still like amazingly well written walkthroughs for stuff like 7 Day Survivor. But if you just search for it, you won't be able to find any of that. What's your worst experience with Stack Overflow, Ellie? Let me hear about it while I kind of troll through some pages here. So let's see. I'm on this wiki. I'm hoping that someone will just have a nice like list. All right. Yeah, so it looks like actually I found something. He does it a little bit out of order. Like, I think even this guy acknowledges, like, when I say, like, I always like the fact that I had that Snowflake kind of gimmick. What is... I guess I unlocked that at some point. So is this, like... Please tell me that's, like, the Mega Buster. I didn't expect there to be a weapon. But, here, let me save. I keep losing time because I forget to, like, pause when I just talk. So Stack Overflow is meant to be this like Q&A site to like help you solve technical issues. Because inevitably there's always someone that's like way more versed on whatever technology you're using. Usually it's for like, oh, hey, I'm the guy that developed this amazing system for Microsoft. And then you're just like the one IT guy trying to implement a simple version of it. So in that case, that guy's like, oh yeah, I know this inside out. So it's simple. I don't think... Let's see. I know she's just going to call me right back again though here. But anyway, Stack Overflow is like full of people that are like have way too much time and shouldn't be answering. Just like it's like screw, like oh my god. I'm trying to think of a good example. Let me try this out. Maybe the only reason this is so yes, I guess that it doesn't. Isn't that how like you run in Mega Man games? I'm curious how good the damage on this is. I guess it feels like I'm moving slower, but just because of the animation. But I think the benefit of this is the shield. So I think I can essentially block stuff and counter. God. Yeah. Oh my god. There's so many bad Stack Overflow answers. They're just like, hey, I'm doing on this thing where I have to use all new code because I'm like doing security. And then it's like, oh, just blindly download this library that I won't tell you what it does, and then use this command, just like a function that's just called X. And it's like, how about no? And then everyone's like, yeah, well, this question was answered. I'm like, it's not a freaking answer. That's like so unprofessional. Or how many times they were just like, we don't want to do your homework. Like, bitch, this is what Stack Overflow's for. Like, your answer's not good enough. God damn. Like, I've tried to answer stuff on Stack Overflow. And it was just not helpful. Oh my god. Oh my god. Come on, people. But yeah, like all the time they would be like, just dumb answers like, hey, I need to make a UI for this web page. Oh, well, why don't you just use, I don't know, assembly or some shit. Like something that makes no sense. Like technically you could do that, but not in that implementation. It's just like, do you even know what you're talking about, or do you even listen to me at all? It's just like, come on.
Hurry up! This way! Hurry, this way!
I did talk to you again. I thought it said he joined.
You're a real pal. Thank you.
No.
There we go. Come on. But yeah, I feel like it's always great when a wiki's like useful. Like sometimes wikis will be like really well organized, but they don't have like the info you need. Like the Borderlands 2 wikis, which is something I consulted a lot when I was playing. It's like, it's really well laid out, but it just lacks like lots and lots of info. Whereas conversely, like the Dead Rising wiki has a ton of info. It's just kind of everywhere and nowhere at once. Or like, I know the Dark Souls wiki, which there's 2 Dark Souls wikis, and there's like the one really popular one. But it has a lot of just flat out wrong information. But But then you have the other wiki, but all its pages aren't organized, but it's always completely right if you can find that info. And it's just like, come on. Like, I really wish there would just be a company that was like dedicated to making those, almost like Prima Guides or something. If they just like that was the way they made their thing, was they just transitioned from those books to actual like wikis, that would be amazing. I keep accidentally switching that thing, and it's just hilarious to see him run. Okay, so let me update my thing here. All right. So the next one is, let's see, it's that dude. Oh, do you really have to drop it? I guess you do. It's the dude who wants money. Till 8 a.m. Yeah. So I have an hour. I'm gonna go run out. I'm gonna try and get a magazine. Actually, it's the Survivor magazine in the strip. Or I guess I could go get Zombrex. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna go check something else. Maybe I'll get that sniper rifle. I'm trying to remember what's different about Off the Record from Dead Rising 2. Which outfit is awesome? The I always forget what I was talking about. I don't know what you're saying, Ellie. But just this Proto Man one, it's just like, I can't wait to get the other one. I'm sure that's gonna be like, the animation's probably gonna look so much better when you're actually moving at way higher speeds. But yeah, come on. So I think I'm gonna have to remember the thing that's the biggest difference that I'm going to have to learn is the keys. Oh yeah, the shield. The shield's awesome. I can't wait to finish the other thing. I haven't looked up the whole unlock strategy for it, but I'm hoping to work towards it at least. Oh, I have to activate that, and then I'll give you a scoop. I need some cash. I need a lot of things. But anyway, the keys are like, that's something entirely new to Off the Record, and I'll just have to like memorize those. Because they are by far the most powerful thing in the game. And like I've talked before, like what I always thought Dead Rising 1 and 2 needed more of was the unlocks. And as well as a way to just like get ahead when you have free time. Like, oh, I have some free time. Let me go, in this game for example, go unlock the ninja hood or what have you. I just came across that. I was thinking there was a key up here or up here. But I don't think that's the case. So I'm going to want this. I'm going to ditch my lead pipe. Screw this stuff, rabbit. And we're gonna need dynamite. Lots and lots of dynamite. Okay, hold up. I should grab some books while I'm here. There we go. Yes. That's the book I want. I also want the, where that book was, I believe. The leadership one. Oh, this is the same copy of the store. No. The store's in Paradise Plaza. I believe in Dead Rising 1. That's very same layout. I don't know if it has the same name or not. I think it does. Ragmags. But don't quote me on that. But anyway. Those keys are awesome because in theory you can go stuff and like essentially get Zombrex early and stuff like that. So you like gain time. Like the best example of Dead Rising 1 is being able to go get the maintenance tunnel key. Because, yeah, it technically is a waste of time, because if you just sit and do the bomb run in one go, you might as well use that time elsewhere. But if you literally have nothing to do because you don't want to save survivors, you go get the key, and then the bomb run goes so much smoother. Even though technically you don't gain any time by having that key. It just lets you do stuff while you're doing the bomb run. And same way, I don't have to spend time essentially, like, going and buying Zombrex or go getting one hidden one in, like, Yucatan across the fucking map. I can get it while I'm there before it spawns and then just get it on the way. Which means, as well, while I'm here, I'm going to go get the one in the safe house, which I'll remember now. Hopefully I can move over to Twitch. Maybe I'll do it next week, because if I do a challenge run, that's a perfect one. Like, I always thought the challenge runs, I think, have the most value. Like, a blind run's interesting, but I think a blind run's only interesting if you know the person. Like if you already know, like, who I am and you've seen me stream before and you know kind of, like, what to expect, then you hopefully know I'm not going to be, like, just narrating my actions. Like, okay, I'm gonna jump now, or, oh, I died, that sucks. Like, stuff like that. hopefully you would be okay with me doing blind run-throughs and stuff, because at least, you know, there's a little bit more weight to it. But to like the random person, I don't think they're that great unless they are also going into it entirely blind. Then I think there's value to it. But you look at like a challenge run, and that is just innately interesting. Stuff like, oh, I'm beating Dead Rising 1 melee only. That's like, you know, I've never seen that done. How is he gonna beat Cletus? Turns out it's as hard as you think. So like that has innate value to it. Like I always enjoy watching speedruns. I think that's where like a lot of my like stream behavior kind of comes from, like what I would talk about, like to keep stuff interesting. Because like I don't mind watching a speedrun or two, but it always sucks when the person's like really quiet or like they never explain stuff, even because like, oh well, everyone who's been watching me every single week doing these same tricks over and over, they know what it's about. It's like, yeah, but I haven't, so it doesn't help me at all. So I have until 8 a.m. I have 4 minutes. I'm gonna chill. So that's why I always try to explain stuff like the tiger. Like, I'm doing this for this reason, even though if you watched me last week, you'll know why I do it. This woman, I don't know who she reminds me of. Not Stacy, this woman over here. You see her in... She's always here because she's in the cutscene when you run in with Chuck in Dead Rising 2. And she can't die because she's also in the final cutscene of ending A of Dead Rising 2. So she's the one that's Chuck's like, oh, where's my daughter? So she's got to be there. But she reminds me of someone. I don't know who it is. There's someone that looks like that, like some actor or something. Oh, I also want to watch these scenes because I don't know if it's true in this one, but I'm pretty sure it's a joke that Chuck never drinks coffee, or he never gets to, where he constantly like is about to take a sip and then it's like, oh, something crazy happened. He throws it down until the ending. But that's more of a Dead Rising 2 thing. All right. Let me find my guide again. I have a new one open, so I'm kind of looking like, see if they had a better listing of this. Unfortunately, like, all these guys are laid out as like kind of like stream of conscience. Stream of I can't say it. Like your thoughts, conscious. I can't say it. I can't formulate the word. Stream of just thoughts, and they're not actually laid out. One guy's seems okay, but I need to go do the know when to fold them, and you need $25,000 I think for that. But I'm good because I played this game before, so no worries there. Stream of consciousness. That's it. That's it. I don't know. I always fuck up that word, like, even when I'm spelling it. Or the one word I have never been able to spell is guaranteed. Like even now saying that, I don't know. There's just like A's and U's all up in that bitch. It's business was like that for a while, but I finally sat down. I need to learn this, otherwise I'm gonna look like an idiot constantly for my entire life. But yeah, guaranteed. Still no idea. I can never spell that right on the first try. It's just like the bane of my spelling career. God. I don't think I've ever spelled it right, honestly, without spell check. It gets to the point where I can't even spell it well enough that spell check recognizes what word I'm trying to say. That's how bad it is. It's just like, I don't know, my shitty spelling thing. Dodge you. I need to go find the drinking book again, which I think is up there, which I really regretted ditching it the last time I had it. I was like, oh man, I really should have kept that. Because in theory, it's like, oh, I don't ever need the drinking book. But the drinking book is like one of the more overpowered things in Dead Rising 2. Maybe not overpowered, because it lets you drink as much as you want. Which essentially, I think this is it. Nope, that's Gamma. I'm going to need that later. Maybe it's over here. Essentially, that opens up so much more food to you, because there's a lot of places like the casinos that have bars. They'll have just like, essentially lots and lots of like really powerful healing items. Well, normally you're limited to like 2, and then maybe if you want a third, there we go. Then if you want a third, you can get it. but then you're gonna start throwing up. But when you can just like freely take as many as you like vodkas as you want, that's a pretty big deal. Give me that. I need to ditch you. I hear you. For me, also, I have slide to text on my phone, and I always get so mad, even though I'm like barely trying, and it's like you can't even get close to my words, and yet I'm like I put like 4 letters into a 5-letter word, and it still can't guess it. I'm like, even though that's just me being dumb. So if that's a good sign that it broke that in one hit. I have a feeling this might actually be pretty powerful. I can't imagine it's nearly as good as the original Mega Buster. But that's just because I think they realized how crazy the Mega Buster was. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I really didn't think you could give it away. Huh, I didn't think I got a case for this last time. Maybe she just tells you, but she doesn't actually give you the scoop. No, it does. See, how hard is it for me to go over to Mo's imaginations? Nah, I'm not going to that. I could, but it seems like it's such a waste when it's like right here. As long as Bill can get through. So I'm trying to think what else was up. But I have that list. I want to put it off. But anyway, hoping to move to Twitch. I still have to get more overlays and stuff for that. I really want to get music before I go to Twitch, but it's constantly like, oh, I got time. Oh, I have to work tomorrow. And maybe I could, oh, fuck. I did not mean to go outside. I'm going to go back in. It's definitely, it's too much of a waste to go around. But like, so I'd like to get music, and that's an endeavor. Like, picking music is like one of the worst things to do for a video, because one, it's very hard to find good royal-free music that fits. Like, you can find good music, but it's like something where it's just like not quite. It's a little bit too interesting to be in a video where you just be distracted by it, but it's not quite worth listening to on its own because it'll like only be like 30 seconds. And it's like really specific, or just like what video, this is a good song, but what video would ever need this soundbite? So it's like a whole thing to go through and like pick stuff, or just like who wants like, I don't know, what would be an example, like electric guitar country rock, but it's like super bright and really loud, so you can't play it underneath, you know, like narration, but it's also like what video would fit that look anyway. But at the same time, just listening to it itself is really repetitive, so you wouldn't just have it as filler either. It's just like, I mean, anyway, that reminds me. So, one of the reason I brought that up is I had to go through music recently for that Gears video I put out, which turned out to be like a really awesome thing, where I put out this video and all it was just like, look at this new character skin for Gears of War. Super low, I don't want to say low effort, but like, it's not a big deal. I don't have to spend hours and hours editing that, you know? It's just, hey, I'm going to go around, spin the character, zoom in, put some music over it because you don't care about the audio. It's there to be interesting. And I was like at work, which I have like a satellite job, so I can like kind of like come and go as I please as long as I get my 8 hours in and stuff. And I was like on the Reddit, like, because I was waiting for stuff like to compile, I think. And let's see, perfect. I can go here first. No. And I was on like the Gears of War subreddit, and there's always posts like, this is weird. They have like, I guess I should clarify. In Gears of War 4, you get like cash, and then the way you get your unlocks is you essentially buy these like trading card packs, and you'll get like, oh, I got a really rare skin, or I got a really rare gun skin, or something like that. Well, people are posting like, hey, there's this one for the esports, where essentially they have this pack where you can pay for actual cash for that one, and then they put that into oh god, every time I accidentally switch to that, it just looks like I take off. Like, oh, hey, this is $10. You buy it, you get some unique skins, but the point is you're donating money to like tournaments and stuff so they can promote that. And people are like, that's weird. This pack's it's in the Microsoft store, but it's not in game. That's weird. That must be a glitch. I bet they're fixing that. Or just stuff like, why are they having this? There's no upcoming tournaments for like a month. all these like weird posts, but everyone's like, oh wow, well, like some people could see it, some couldn't. I was like, I'm gonna go home over lunch anyway. I'm gonna look at this. So I went home. I bought 2. And I got a character like, oh, I'm just making this video. Like, if anything, it's just gonna be like the first look, and everyone else was posting like phone photos of their TV, which everyone knows those look like shit anyway. Especially when you're on an Xbox One or a PS4, which has like a built-in capability to like take screenshots and stuff. I don't get that. Like, hey, I'll make a video and maybe I'll get some view. It can be my first like big Gears video. It can be like the highest quality one out there at the time. That's why I was messing with the settings that kind of like fucked up the stream up a little bit. Turns out, after I post that video, go back to work, turns out actually, yeah, that pack wasn't supposed to be out there. So that's not how it's supposed to be out there, I think, for another month. And I'm one of the only people that got it. Much less the only people that made a video on it. So it like blew up way more than I expected for such like a simple video that's just like really uninteresting gameplay, just essentially showing a guy rolling around in the skin. And it was awesome. Anyway, I had to pick out music for that, and that's what kind of reminded me. It was like, oh, like, man, it just worked out so well for me that time. Isn't there an unlock here? Soldier goggles, 2 minutes. It's like, I know that must be good, but I have no idea what that is. Don't want to buy Zombrex. I was hoping he'd have like the chopper unlock or the Humvee there. That would make the most sense. So back to this. I did notice one thing I try to fix a little bit is I noticed on the stream it was very I don't know how to describe it, like the brightness was off on it on my Elgato itself, I guess, like even in this in my OBS, because I guess the thing is like you never think about it coming out from the Xbox. Like I fixed that stuff on my TV, but when I run it through the Elgato, it's just getting the original source, so it doesn't have any of those settings done. I think that's one reason why the art looked a little bit weird, because the gameplay itself looked really washed out compared to like this awesome artwork. But I think I fixed it. I can tweak it some more, but I'm not the most talented when it comes to like, how's the saturation in this? Or do I need more contrast? Do I need more sharpness? That whole thing. But I think I fixed it a little bit so it's not as washed out as it was. But let me know if you think it could be a little bit brighter, if you could think it could be a little bit like, I don't know, if it looks like lacking in color.
Rebecca Chang, Channel 6 Action.
It's still a little bit off from what I think it should be, like on a TV, but I'll have to test that. Like that's a whole thing I have to fix. It's one of the many things that I just have to go through as part of like improving the stream like over years.
What are you doing here?
But sadly, I really wish I had just like a Saturday that was just like, I'm just going to YouTube and I could just go fix. Because like I have fundamentally issues with my setup. Like a great thing is, for example, half of my USB ports on my computer don't work. It's all the 3.0 ports, and I can fix that. I have to go re-download a driver, but it's like a whole thing. And every time I stream, it's much easier to just plug them into the ones in the back and then turn my desktop than it is to like download the drivers, undo every USB. It's like I have to like essentially uninstall the old USB ports and then reinstall the USB, and it's a very risky process because that means essentially that there's a period in time where I can give my machine no inputs at all. So if it stalls, it's a whole thing, and I don't want that to happen. But there's that. I have like I should fix like I have an aux port. Like the reason I use this interface that causes a couple issues, but is also great, is because I only have, I think it's mini USB. I don't know which one it is. I only have one cable. Unfortunately, that one cable is the only cable that works with the mic, but it's also the only cable that works with my Elgato. So it's like I have to use it with the Elgato. And it's like I could spend like an hour, be like, is this the right cable? How long do I need? Is it worth doing? I could do this whole thing. Order the next one off Amazon. I could do that, or I could stream, or I could go do anything else. So it's like always, it just gets pushed pretty easily. So, yeah, we'll rant about that. It's just fundamental things I need to fix. But also, often, honestly, a lot of that's just kind of like a Band-Aid. Stuff like, oh, I could probably optimize my streaming if I port forward everything. But honestly, if it's just like my router's 99, if like my stream's like 98%, I take it to 99%, yeah, that's better, but it'd be much better to fix like the giant bottleneck that is my router. Sorry, Rebecca. gonna need this. I want to make sure I make more of those beer hats because they're so amazing, especially when you have the drinking book. But I never do because you have to like grab those hats like right here, and I always forget. Like, unfortunately, like I'm pretty sure they collect like data on what weapons people use in Dead Rising 2, because they definitely shuffled all the important ones. Like making the Defiler right out of the safe room, yeah, that's no longer a thing. So that sucked, or maybe it still is. I don't know where the nearest sledgehammer is. I know they moved the fire axe. It's like completely arbitrary. Like they moved it to the other side of the hallway, so if you don't know it's there, it's easy to miss. But it's still like it's the same thing. It's just kind of like a gotcha moment. But yeah, speaking of a sledgehammer, Rebecca, where are you going and what? That's actually probably way better. God, because normally she runs through here. Maybe they changed it so she would like avoid the looters a little bit better. Here's hoping for like some more glitches. Oh yes, double kill. I would really like to hit level 50 by the end of this run as well. That's kind of the main reason I'm doing it, just to get like level 50 out of the way, just so if I do anything else, I won't have to worry about that. Like if I want to do a melee only run, which I think would be a lot of fun with Off the Record, because Frank has moves that are so much better than Chuck's. Like I don't particularly want to go try and take on Antoine using only like elbow drops, but the double area, yeah, why not?
Just push the button.
Honestly, I actually regret not wearing Frank's original outfit. I feel like it actually fits so much better than what I'm wearing. Whereas normally, like, it's like, oh, I don't care what Chuck's wearing. It's like fun to see him and silly stuff. I feel like Frank looks really good in this game, and I think that's just because like, oh, they had the time to really optimize that kind of stuff. Like obviously they had Case West to give like a first try at it, and then they had a bunch of development time. Oh, these zombies are aggressive. Maybe it's just these luchadors, I guess, or I don't know. Luckily, it's not too hot in here. I do have the fan going, so please tell me if the fan's like too loud. It's like, I guess like background noise, but still. I have my window open. It's starting to help, but yeah.
Didn't teach me that in journalism school.
Double check some stuff.
You went to journalism school?
And update my list. Oh, so other thing I have down on my list is I want to start doing those psychovades for Dead Rising 1, 2 off the record, and I guess I would do it for 3. I keep wanting to do it. Like I sat down and I wrote out my script for like the food court Carlito fight because I figured, hey, this is easy to film. It's like right at the beginning of the game. I only need to focus on giving like fun tips. I don't have to be like actually worried too much about like a crazy awesome strategy because it's still the easiest boss. It's more of like, hey, here's how you kill him really fast, because that's what I think a lot of people care about is, oh, I know I have to beat him, but come on, I'm level 50, I've beaten this game 20 times. How do I kill him fast instead of like, oh, I run up, he knocks you off, he doesn't do any damage that matters, you don't do any damage to him, and just repeat that loop until he dies. But it just like so much stuff like kind of comes in the way. It sucks. But one of which, obvious one, is the one I always talk about, the D&D stuff. I also have another big project that hopefully as of tomorrow I get the last part for. I have this thing like I'm doing a bunch of, you know what? Hold up, I never actually looked around this room. I always leave it right away. Oh, that's good.
Look at that.
Does she say? What does she say? I like how she's the only one that mentions restrooms. Like they're like, she's so deliberate about it. It's a bigger room than I remembered. Ooh, hand in hand, that's good to know. Nice.
Huh.
So I'm pretty sure that's just an unlock, so I can ditch that later. Although really, did I even put them on? I guess they're like just boots. But yeah. Is there anything else over here? But yeah, I never actually look in that room because you start outside of it and you just like leave it right away. Hoping that key's worth it. It seems like the keys are pretty worth it usually, because if anything they'll give you like cash. And that's pretty awesome. I do wish you could kind of just like, I don't know, I haven't seen this yet, but I wish that if you got achievements, you just had keys permanently unlocked. So like, hey, oh hey man, you have every achievement in this game. Here's a key that will give you 1 free Zombrex every game. You know, just like that extra little added layer of security, so you can kind of be a little more relaxed, I guess. So safe house, yeah. Probably hit up Mo's Imaginations too, just so I can hopefully buy that car. Speaking of which, I need to smash this in. Whatever. So yeah, I want to do those psycho vids, but it's just been like, it's been a pain. I gotta do artwork and stuff for it. It's legitimately hard to squeeze that stuff in, even though it seems like it'd be so easy. To like, just like, oh, I just need to hop on, I just need to film my fighting Carlito. Also, I learned it's very easy to forget you're like filming. Like, I would have this issue when I did the Adam the Clown guide, where I'd like dodge his attacks so I don't get like hit, and then I didn't realize until way later that's like, oh, well that really makes it hard to watch when the camera's flipping around everywhere. Or sometimes like Adam just wouldn't be cooperative, so it'd be like, oh, I'm gonna do the move you're trying to film, but I'm gonna do it as I run behind a wall, just because screw you. It's like, come on, really? Throw me a bone here. Although looking back, so like I always had to like, Adam the Clown Dead Rising 1 I always considered to be so hard up until I learned that cheese for him. And going back and just like fighting him over and over, if you can break his like, I guess like opening sequence of being really tough around that roller coaster, he's really not that hard to beat on your first try. I think if you don't like kind of disengage and come back, he's bad. But I don't think it'd be that hard at all to beat him like hand to hand or something. As long as you're just not staying around that first area. Oh, that reminds me. I had some stuff to advertise. Oh yeah, I was going to talk more about that other project. I can't. So I'm doing this project. I don't know, I call it Secret Project. I need like a code word for it, but I don't want to do a code word that's cool, but then any word that's cool would give away too much. And it's not a huge thing at all, but it is it's a very specific project. Like I have like this giant thing in my living room right now that's just like intimidating. And it's like, it's one of those things like people like ask me like, what'd you do over the weekend? Well, I don't want to say like I streamed and I did this very, very specific project, because they'll be like, you sound like you're insane. But as part of that, so I'm working with, oh god. I'm quickly trying to search something, but it's not gonna matter. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put some stuff together. I feel bad. One of the things I want to kind of like move towards is making a stream that's a little bit more. Is gonna sound like super narcissistic. Less about the game, more about me. And so stuff like if I have to like go on tangent, like if I want to look something up, I'll go flash to the desktop, or I'll go to a wider view so I can like show stuff. Versus it being dominated by the game, whereas like right now, if you like came in and joined the stream and you like didn't have say if your sound like defaulted, it would just look like I'm just waiting on a pause screen talking like this, like really tiny in the corner. And that's something I always like try to be good about, like always be active, or like talking about like what I'm doing, or if it is pause, keep talking, because I know like sometimes people like pop in and out on streams, and if they happen to just pop in at a bad time, like right when I'm rebooting my router, they just assume the entire stream is gonna be shitty like that, like, oh, the guy doesn't know what he's doing, and go off, or who knows, maybe like, oh, this is that guy that had a really bad stream, I'm not gonna even give him another chance, even though they see it, stuff like that. Here we go. Perfect. So I'd like to do more of that, and part of that I'm testing more with my Sunday stream for Gears of War, because that's a little bit more of like a talk show, honestly. It's not very focused on Gears of War at all. It's more of just something I can bring like a guest on, and in that I'm gonna experiment a little bit more, because this has a pretty good format. I think I would just like to just probably throw in some other stuff, but that takes a while to develop. So hold up here. I'm doing some searches, but I don't know if this is going to amount to anything. Sorry if it's taking long. I meant, this is another thing I wanted to do before, and I completely forgot about it. What is this thing on my screen? Like, one of the things I delayed the stream by 30 minutes. Normally, like, I originally had done streams starting at 6 p.m. for me. I pushed it back to 6:30 just to give me more time in case stuff came up. And it seems like I need even more, because like I had to like go grocery shopping, I had to go set all this up, I had to go fix technical issues, and I have like a checklist kind of going, but I don't know. I need like a partner in crime here, just so I can like actually get, I don't know, do stuff. Like, play the game and also get all this stuff done that I need to. I'm not gonna worry about that too much. I need to find a good way to, like, bring more people into the stream. Just because I think I got something good going, but it can be hard to advertise because it's a pretty specific thing. Especially, like, that's one of the downsides of doing, like, those challenge runs is they have a lot of value, I think, to them, and they're interesting. But only if you're already invested in Dead Rising. Like, if you've never seen the game before, I don't think it's going to matter to you much at all. But then I also don't know, like, where else I would go to advertise. Like, I go on the subreddit, I'll post it and stuff, and I'm more than happy to, like, talk with anyone there. I think they have a lot of good discussions, fun times. But at the same time, like, what other Dead Rising communities are there? Like, I don't want to post something where it's, like, very long-winded. Like, I don't want to be like, hey, I'm streaming tonight, and then that post sits out there for like weeks, and everyone's like, "Oh, this post is dumb because it's long since come and gone." But so I don't know. I don't know if you guys have any recommendations on that. One of the reasons I'm hoping to move to Twitch is just a little bit more of an audience that just kind of like wanders in, essentially. But that remains to be seen. So I need to go to Silver Strip and pick up another one of those keys. There's 2 keys I need: Atlantic Casino, and I need. What's the other one? The one in front of the hotel, which I should have gone right while I was there, I guess. Would have been way easier. Oh yeah, I was gonna look up, hold on, I have scoops. Let me consult my guide. So, case 1. So, 6:30 p.m. So I get another call at 2 p.m. Let's see. Welcome to the family and Lost. Oh yeah, that's a secret scoop. That's right. Yes. It's the one where Doris and Chad are like hanging out in the Silver Strip, so I should go there anyway. And I should be able to see them. God damn it, I hate all these secret scoops. Because like they're so easy to forget, even if like I know about them. I would really wish... Oh, I was going to go check that shop too. Damn it. So what are you guys up to tonight? I always liked hearing that. Because I know, like... I always say, like, people ask me, oh, you got any plans for the weekend? I don't want to be like, oh, sorry, 4-year-old. I'm streaming. Because they'd just be like, well, what's that? And I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go play Dead Rising. It's like, and people are going to watch that? I'm like, well, I hope so. It'll be the whole thing. Whole tangent I just don't want to go down. I feel like that's my hobbies usually in a nutshell. Is like, I don't mind telling you, but it's also like it's a whole thing to say, like what this is or like why I have like a green screen up behind me and yeah. Oh yeah, I've been like, I keep wanting to buy Skyrim, but I know it's like I don't know. Part of it's just like I don't know. I shouldn't because I already own it and I don't know how much I'd play it. Like, thing is like I really like the idea of Skyrim, but also in essence, I feel like I don't. And I don't know. I don't know. It's like I keep wanting. Like I would love to get like a bunch of beer, you know, like relax, like Friday night. Maybe install some like survival mods that aren't too crazy, and then just kind of like adventure Skyrim. I really like that. Like I want to have one character, and I want to just go do every quest in the game. And I want to be a sneaky archer because I fucking love stealth games. And Skyrim's pretty good about that, honestly. Okay, perfect. I got that. I see you're hitting. Guy. So she's not there yet. Okay. So I can go do Welcome to the Family. So, but my issue with Skyrim, I think it's gone long enough where it would always end up being like when you make a new character, you do the same stuff. And to go find stuff you haven't already done, you have to either physically go look up, like, this is where this quest is. Or you just have to, like, really explore and do everything. That's actually one of my complaints is that they have that Radiant AI system where it'll generate quests for you. And they're actually, I mean, they're, like, repetitive. They're just like, there's a bandit captain in this cave. Go kill him and you'll get 300 gold. Which actually, like economics-wise, especially if you're doing, like, survival, those are really good quests. Like, if you have, like, the mods, like, for survival and stuff, where you have to, like, say, buy tents, repair your gear, buy food every time you go out. That stuff's awesome because it's like you're risking your life and you're going to get well paid for it. Really useful. But then I feel like it's hard because if you're just like asking around for quests, they'll keep pointing you to like the Radiant quests that are just like made up instead of in the old Elder Scrolls games, they would at least point you to quests you didn't have. So if there was literally no quest in the area, you could go talk to like an innkeeper and he'd be like, oh, there's something over on the other side of the map somewhere. At least that was something. You're mining 4,000 pieces of clay in Skyrim or in Minecraft? Because I feel like that's a Minecraft, not Skyrim, Ellie. I just want to wear this just so I can run around like an idiot. Is there something else I need to do in here? I feel like there was. Oh, I needed to go get the key in the fountain. That's why. But yeah, I just want to go through everything. But inevitably, it's just like you end up like you don't play for like a week, and it's like, what was I doing? Or just like it makes me do all the same dumb stuff. Like, again, I like playing a sneaky thief character. Usually, like I don't know, Argonian or like Matchcaster. First off, the game feels like it's trying to make you play a spell sword because that's like by far the most effective thing in that game. At least like as you're leveling. But it's like that means if I want to be sneaky and steal stuff, I have to do the Thieves Guild quest line. And that's fine. You only need to go do like 1 or 2 quests that already get annoying. And then you'll unlock the fence. But then the fence has such a limited cash that, because if you're stealing stuff that matters, you run out of cash really fast, I think. Or like essentially how much money she has to buy stuff off of you. And that sucks. But at the same time, I blame them because one of the things they don't mention is that part of the fence's duty in the Thieves Guild is if you sell something to the fence and buy it back, you will lose money in that transaction, and that's because it will remove the stolen moniker. So that way, if you do stuff like, for example, whenever I start a new character and I'm going Sneaky Archer, I go into the Companions, and you can pick a Master Lock and steal a Elven Bow, which is like a really good bow for your level. And then that's useful to go get it fenced, because then, if you get catched by the guards, they won't take your boat because it's no longer stolen. That's awesome. But I feel like for the most part, there's not a lot of items in the game where you'd want to do that. Like, I honestly want just like a game that's Skyrim, like stealth and stuff, and you just break into a giant mansion and steal stuff. Like, I love that. I love breaking into the stores at the beginning of the game so much and be like, I'm gonna take all these iron bars. Like, yeah. Like, I never even do like the trick where you put the basket on the head or anything, but it's so much fun. Like, yeah, I snuck the sword out. But then, like, I guess it's like I'd rather have, like, Skyrim's difficulty is so much in like finding like where to sell stuff when I would rather have it in acquiring the stuff. And maybe that's one of the things that always annoyed me. And I don't know, or like I like survival mods, but kind of what killed it for me with the survival stuff was the game wasn't paced for that, and it can be done, but just like simple stuff like, there's no shop here that sells or like will buy anything that you have, so it's just every time you do a dungeon, you just have to walk back to Whiterun or use your horse, and that like really sucks. Here, don't you have like a sword here somewhere? See, I think I have Thief somewhere. I don't know if I have Thief on Steam, Origin, Xbox, or what, but I think I have it somewhere. And I really want to try it because I've heard good things. But it's just been hard because, like, in my experience, stealth, thievery, but mainly essentially stealth in games, is best when it's not intended. Like, I've played games where they're like, we're going to make it, like, stealthy so you can use it in multiplayer and stuff like that. But those weren't the games that did it well. The games that did stealth well were like Halo, or like, for example, I love doing stealth in like Gears of War because it's like the game wasn't meant for that. So like actually trying to sneak up on someone and getting like behind the team and getting a triple kill is very exhilarating. Compare that to something like Destiny where it's like, look, you can be sneaky, you can go invisible, but every 5 seconds to balance it, you show up on the radar anyway. It's like, really? Come on. Or like, I would point to like a lot of the Thief Guild missions in Skyrim aren't that fun, even though they're designed to thieve. Like, they can be, but because they're designed to be a Thieves Guild, they always give you an out, and sometimes that's fine. Like, I'm totally okay with that. Like, for example, in Oblivion, the Dark Brotherhood, they'd have quests where, killing NPCs, like, look, yeah, you can go do something interesting, but I'm just gonna go be alone in a closet for no reason, and then that's obviously where you kill them. Whereas it's much more fun to like distract the guards and like do it in a place that's not common. But on the other hand, obviously, like, there's some really funny and awesome quests in the original Oblivion for where's Jack? Are you not captured? Perfect. In the original Oblivion, like the murder house, such a fun quest. And now, to be fair, that one was also like super scripted, but did it well. And I don't know. Like, I don't know, maybe there's good mods for that, and I haven't played the DLC. I've heard good things. I think I just need to play Skyrim, but I don't know where or how I would do that. Because it'd be like a long time, but I want to relax and like drink beer and just like have a good time when I play. And I feel like if I can't have time to make like a 8-minute Dead Rising video, I don't have time to take on beating all of Skyrim. Even already, I feel like I'm just so pressed for time. Or I should always just be other stuff I'm doing. So I think maybe I can go do Lost now. So they spawn at 12 p.m., yeah, without a call. And he's in front of the movie theater. I'm really thankful for this guy. I'm always really thankful for people who take time to make the guides. Okay, he's the left. Like, actually, like, way back when, one of the reasons I made the original series for Dead Rising 1 was just because it's really cool to hear someone talk about a game they're, like, really knowledgeable about. And the main inspiration for that was back... I think it's telling me to go this way. I always get this mixed up. Yeah. Okay, come on. I guess it's the reason I'm doing so much better this time around is the leadership one. What is this? I'm curious what that is, but I don't want to lose my helmet.
Keep up.
Yeah. Sorry, where is it going? Oh, that's mine. I completely forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about something about... Oh, yeah. So, I was playing Final Fantasy 13-2. It's weird. And there's a guide for that, because like, it's a Final Fantasy game. Of course, it's like super good for guides, because there's so much you need to know about it. He should be here. Because normally he's like right up here somewhere. Let me see if there's... Is there somewhere I can transition? There's this elevator. I think that's locked. So I guess I need to go to Americano. He should be here. This guy might just be off. Or like I might have transitioned early or something. It's one of those things where it can be very hard to tell when survivors act. Oh, there you are. What the fuck? Like, oh, does he spawn at 12:30 or 12? Because it's a big pain. Or like 12:15, stuff like that. I don't have anything to clear these zombies with. I gave it all away and it's broken. Anyway, so this dude wrote this guide, and it was clear that this dude loved that game. Like, he was so in depth and like so like lovingly too. Like, it wasn't just do this, do this. It was just like, hey, here's a little tip, or like, man, I really like this, or hey, it's really funny if you put this like. Really, I might have to save these guys and then go back. Yeah, I think I might have to save him because it's kind of on the way anyway. So going right here.
Hey, I'm
So.
waiting on you.
But anyway, just like reading it, like for example, in that game, essentially it was kind of it's a little bit different than most Final Fantasies where you have like 3 people in your party and you fight in turns. Essentially, you had 2 main party members and you had a third customizable like monsters you could capture. And the thing was, like you would get like the game wasn't that hard, and it wasn't very hard to like get your monster like AI companions to such a level where it's like as good as they need to be. But he would like there's all these systems they built in that game that you didn't need, but he would just like he took all the time to like figure out the best combos or the most fun combos and would just make these really interesting videos like, hey, here's like this really low level monster soloing the final boss because he like perfected it. It was almost like Pokemon, like breeding it so it has like the right moves and stuff, and it was just like really interesting to listen to him talk in those videos and just like watch him talk on the wiki about it. Not the wiki, the game facts. I think that was the inspiration for that, because essentially the idea was like, I'm gonna play the game and it's gonna focus not necessarily on just being like this is the best way, but like let me deliver as much value and as much, I guess, like interest as I possibly can in one go. I don't think I ever bought the key to this. No. And that's honestly where that came from, and that's probably one of the only reasons I'm playing Dead Rising is because I saw that and like, well, what kind of game can I do that on my level for? Like, well, I thought Dead Rising, you know, I learned it really well because of 7 Day Survivor, and it's a game that's really well like locked down. Same with Final Fantasy, where it's like it doesn't have a ton of crazy situations. You can master case 1, you can master case 2. Same with Final Fantasy, you can master like one chapter of the game. It's not like, oh well, it's entirely different for someone else. So you're like, no, here are the spawns, here's what happens when, and you can really nail that without being too crazy. Seems the stream's being annoying again. I don't know if that's me or not. I have not. I can talk about it. I keep meaning to... Here. I guess one thing to talk about. Well, let me wrap up that idea. So, basically, early on in my channel, it was my first big series. I did this thing I called Master Run. That was the title for this kind of idea of a series, where it was... Oh, hold up. Let me pause this. I'm having issues with my encoder. I'm going to drop the quality a little bit more. Okay, I dropped a little bit. If you wanted, ultimately, if like people don't care, I can drop it all the way down to 480p. I have to remake the entire stream, so I probably won't do it tonight. because one of the downsides of these setting up these events, which events are amazing, I much prefer it over the Extreme Now option, is I have to preset all the ingestion settings. One of that being is what resolution you want the stream to be at. I could lower that and that would drastically lower it, but then it's standard definition. It's what you would see on an old tube TV, which isn't great, especially because like the point is to do this is to play like the remaster. So I'm not going to play the HD remaster and then downgrade it to 1080 with a low bit rate. I think I should be good again. It will like dip a little bit. I can look into that, but for the moment, for the next couple months, there's not much I can do, because even if I like up my internet, sometimes it just still like tanks a little bit. And I wish I could do something about that, but I really can't. So anyway, the idea was, and I haven't really gotten back to this, was I wanted to make this series called Master Run, where you essentially would take someone like, what's the one game you just know like down, you're perfect at, like this is your thing, because everyone has like that game, whether it's like a Pokemon game because you always played it like on family trips, or maybe the only game you had for your N64 was like Super Mario World or something, or Super Mario 64. Everyone has like that game. So I thought, oh, well, wouldn't it be cool? Like, one, it's valuable because I could essentially produce it. Like, I thought about doing one for like Borderlands, because like I can sit down and I could just like put in the legwork to crunch those numbers. So I gotta be like, here is the optimal strategy for every single class and character on how to beat this boss. I could sit down and do that legwork. And that was like something there. So like, oh, I could make content that way. But at the same time, it's like the perfect thing to have like guests on. Be like, oh, you're a speedrunner of Super Mario 64. Like, yeah, tell me everything. How'd you get started? Go really in depth. Tell me cool stories. You could have someone come on. Or it didn't even necessarily have to be like that good of a game, or that have them being that good at the game. It could just be like, tell us everything you know about it. Because there can be stuff where it's like, the point isn't necessarily like, here's like, watch me beat Dead Rising without taking any damage. That's not necessarily the most interesting thing, as it is like, well, here's why I played this way. Or this is why it's harder to play this way, but it's more fun, because that actually comes up a lot too. And that's the reason I played Dead Rising, is because I made 1, made 2, and then a year later, year and a half even, I think, the remasters came out. Like, oh man, now all this knowledge is really relevant. And that's kind of, I guess, like the story of my channel so far. A bunch of other stuff happened in between, like graduating college and so much, but that's what comes to mind. So anyway, Dead Rising 4. So I have this thing where I never get hyped about games. So I know you're here, Chad. Where are you? You're not there. You were over. He like ran from that direction last time. Please tell me he didn't die. I feel like if I saw him, it would give me an alert if he did die, but let me check. I thought it was a thing where even if he didn't appear in the notebook. Like if you never saw him at all. Let's see, what's he list? He's not listed as anything. So like if you never encountered him at all, he just wouldn't even like give you the prompt. Whereas like in Dead Rising 1, if it's in, I guess no, maybe not. I wish like for a hidden scoop they would at least tell you, oh, he's dead. Because he should be here. Right? Maybe he's further down. No, I might have just lost him, which isn't terrible. I guess I can go down. His wife would definitely be there, so if she's dead, I might just revert a little bit. So I'm making way. So I never get excited for games, and so now I'm like super invested in Dead Rising. So I feel bad, but honestly, I don't know much about Dead Rising 4. See, she must be alive because her husband's there. No, backwards, other way around. She's still there, so I think her husband's still alive, and she should know where to find him. Fucking Dev's right there, just like dropping. That's a whole. Remind me, I'm gonna have to talk about it. I'm gonna get to Dead Rising. Hold up. So, I'm looking into Dead Rising 4. I have not seen much on it. I know the general stuff. Like, I know they changed the voice actor for Frank. I know some people just kind of they don't like the direction it took. Like, I know some people didn't like the direction they took with 3. Let's see. So I guess they just expect me to run to the strip and see how far I got. Huh. So I don't know. Honestly, it's really hard to tell where I think Dead Rising 4 is going until I actually see it in action. Because I know some people are like, "Oh, there's regenerating health. That's gonna suck." But honestly, I'm not against it. Like, I could see why they'd want it if it's like they could do it really well. Like, oh, you have 12 health, you have 12 heart blocks. Well, maybe you only regen 3 of them, like up so you have 3 at any given time. I could see that being honestly way better for Dead Rising, because that way you'll still be like having an issue if you're low on health in a psycho fight. But at the same time, it's not going to be like, oh, a zombie grabbed you and you're down to 1 health, and then one random bullet from one mercenary from like across the map strikes you. It's not going to be like that either. Where is this guy? Is he like inside? He should be here. I don't think it made it sound like he might potentially just start here and start running to the end of the area or something. You're off. But I talked to him, so since I talked to him, I feel like that should have triggered him for like telling me he's dead or not. But anyway, so I just really want to see. I want to see it before I make any judgments on it. I'm looking forward to it. I'll play it. Like, I expect good things out of like Capcom Vancouver. I think they do good stuff. I think though, honestly, I get that people like think that Dead Rising 3 and like some of the other games are like odd, and they're in odd directions. Let's see. Yeah. So like this on your point about how like they're changing it. Ultimately, I think Dead Rising, there needs to be... It still hasn't gotten its, like, niche down yet. Like, everything's just a little bit too, like, not perfected, and I can see why they'd want to change that. God damn, is he not here? I might just reload a save and go... Because that's going to be a way back, but I might do it just because it's, like... The whole point was to get everyone. God damn it. There's another reason I fucking hate... Oh, wait. Do I have a scoop now? No. Every other scoop, like, if you, like, partially activate it, it would give you... It would, like, point out. Like, if you have to, like, go find underwear, it would also give you a point at underwear. Just in case. Yeah, see, he's running. I see. I think he just runs to the end of the area. Oh, wait. I have double area, don't I? I haven't actually used this for reals. Too zany, goddamn you. I agree. So, yeah, I totally agree, and I kind of wish, like, I prefer really slow horror games. Like, I played it like DayZ for a little bit, and like what killed that for me was the multiplayer. But I really liked. What about in DayZ? What was the thing was like the zombies have really bad eyesight and really bad hearing. So let me clear this out, and then I'll talk. At least for like the little bit I played. So what you would do is you'd have to be like, okay, I'm going into this house. I'm going to see if there's anything there. There's 3 zombies. And if you could aggro any of them, you were fucked. Because in the original mod, you didn't have a default weapon. So if you didn't, unless you found like a knife, you couldn't actually attack the zombies. So you'd have to be like, okay, I'm going to go check this house. That's going to take an hour. Just this little tiny like 1-bedroom house. And you're like, okay, I know this is the minimum safe distance. There's a zombie here, here, here. Okay, I'm going to go prone. I'm going to slowly crawl my way to the house. Okay, I'm in. Look around the corners. Okay, next room. Going, okay. Zombie. Wait for the zombie to wander out. Okay, stand up. Check the countertops for weapons and stuff. Okay, nothing. Get back down. Crawl in. Check the next room. I love that. I love that intense feeling. And that's kind of what Dead Rising 1 was for me as well, where it was like, okay, I need to be perfect. I need to be on time. I need to be on my toes at everything. So I really appreciate that. And I can see how, like, even with Dead Rising 2, that kind of, like, went down. Like, I always make a point how I think the Dead Rising 1 psychos are kind of unfair, in a way. Like, you really need to know going in what you're getting. And they fixed that in 2. What's nice about 2 is, like, when you first play through, you can beat any psycho. It's not that tough. On the other hand, honestly, the best strategy for every single Psycho in Dead Rising 2 is get the knife gloves, get a bunch of painkillers, and just out-tank. Don't, like, dodge or anything. Just let him come at you and just out-DPS and out-heal him. Because if you have enough health, and if you get the painkiller, which halves all your damage, and then you have the strongest gloves, that's just the best strategy. So in a way, it did lose depth by making the fights easier, but at the same time, I do think the fights are, like, a little bit better. So I don't know. It's like one of those things where I think, like, I like the timer. I think it adds a lot to it, but I also recognize that it sucks. Like, it's very hard to replay Dead Rising games because of the timer. Especially because, like, if you want to, say, do an achievement, like, oh, I'm going to get Denise to fight Sergeant Boykin at the end of the game, that means, well, why would you willingly go out and do other scoops? You would just go do the case files, and you do, obviously you would save her, do the case files, and then you just go find somewhere, like, safe, and you'd wait. And it's just like, what's the point of that? Like, you're just waiting. It's just a pain. It's not even like waiting and, like, making a barricade. It's, no, I'm just gonna get me and Denise in a room. I'm gonna shut the door, and then I'm gonna leave my console on for 2 hours. And that's what sucks. I feel like there needs to be some kind of, like, middle ground between those two, but I don't know what it is. Like, ideally, it needs to be some way to, like, manipulate the timer and get ahead and stuff. But at the same time, come on. At the same time, it also needs to be able to, I don't know, still be hard. And I think that's one reason, like, you can see, my understanding of how Dead Rising 3 works is that you don't have a direct timer, like, you don't have 3 days, but rather you have, like, oh, you have an hour or a day to do the next scoop, whatever it is. Like, oh, the city's going to blow up in a day. Or so you have essentially a day to do those case files to prevent that, but it's all relative to when you start the last one. So if you wanted to rush it, you could, because you could just do all the cases right in a row. Otherwise, you could also just, you know, go do other stuff and it would delay it, if you wanted to do that.
Let's move. Hurry it up.
So, I get it. I'm not saying Dead Rising 3 or Dead Rising 4 is probably the perfect iteration, but I still do think that they have not yet hit the perfect Dead Rising game. Like, I don't think they could remake Dead Rising 1. And, like, say if they would try to make 4 into essentially a rework of 1 with all the same mechanics and feeling, I don't think there'd be any way to physically do that. It's almost like Dead Rising has this idea of a formula that is potentially one of the best zombie games to ever be made. It's just they haven't ever nailed it, and no one else has either. And I don't know how any other way to put that, where it's like they almost need to have, like, more survivors, but they need to be better. But then also, like, I don't know, it needs to be, like, less involved in the story, but also way more. Like, there's so many things. I was really hoping it would let me, like, coast so I could, like, ride that cart down the stairs. So I don't know, I'm just, like, really curious. 'Cause, like, I recognize, like, the difficulty is a big thing, but I don't know how to perfect it. I don't think anyone does. It's so close if it can just, like, cross a last little thing and just nail it, I guess. That's kind of me rambling. Well, see, this is one of the things where I think this is what I think they're attempting with the additional zombies. Yes, they're a little bit, like, crazier. Like, we're like, oh, look, you're killing so many. But I think that's also a good thing, because you'll notice when I play Dead Rising 1, 2, and even Off the Record now, I ignore the zombies. Like, they're not a thing. Honestly, they're not even a threat. They're just kind of like an environmental thing. They're not an active, like, enemy. So I think one of the things that having, even if they are easy and they're just putting a lot for fodder, you still have to actually go back to, you need to fight your way through zombies. Like, go back and play, like, Dead Rising 1. Like, some of the most fun gameplay is level 1 Dead Rising 1 gameplay, because every zombie is, like, a threat. So, again, it's like, reminds me of DayZ. You have to, like, plan your way through. You have to, like, actively avoid, or, like, oh, I have my one handgun. Like, I remember playing Dead Rising 1 for the first time, and I was like, oh, Jesse gave me this one handgun. I need to, like, get for the other end of Paradise Plaza, because I didn't know about the second story, and I didn't know about the small king to the right. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go through this waterway, because there's only 3 zombies there, and, okay, I gotta land these headshots, because they're police zombies, and I can't waste my bullets on their vests. So I was like, okay, bam, got one. Okay, quick move, reposition. Bam, got one. That's so much fun. And I think Dead Rising 1, 2, for being, like, really good Dead Rising games, they lost that, and that's what I think they never really nailed. It's like, it's really good your first playthrough. It's amazing your first playthrough if you can get over how hard it is. It's like Dark Souls. But going back as you leveled up, it's not. Honestly, like, I guess for example, one of the issues, so this is a side issue while I'm on tangent.
Let's move.
That's let me just aim a sniper rifle. One of the issues is it's a little bit too easy to beat Dead Rising. Like, getting to the point where, like, I've done everything. That is it. And there's no point to replay it. And I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I think the point is they need to get back to, like, fighting zombies.
Hurry, this way.
Didn't I already talk to you?
Move it.
Alright, I guess I just took your photo. So I could easily see that being a thing, like, actually getting through them is, like, more of the objective. And I think, obviously, for the demo, they're selling, like, Dead Rising's thing is that it's really crazy. Like, for example, like, the guys I play D&D with, they're PlayStation gamers, which you don't think of Dead Rising as a PlayStation game, even though now it is, especially with the remasters and stuff.
Keep up.
And they're like, oh yeah, I'm working on these Dead Rising stuff. And they're like, oh, isn't that the really crazy, like, Saints Row zombie game? And this was them only talking about Dead Rising 1 and 2, not even, like, 3 and stuff. But, like, that was their impression.
Quick,
So I could see them, like, wanting to sell that, even if maybe they wanted to take it in a different direction. So it's just, like, so hard without actually seeing the game. I think they recognize that they want to work towards that. But it's a very hard feeling to evoke without also alienating. I think that's the issue, is, like, they need to have the timer, but they need to have a timer in such a way where it's hard, but it's not alienating, if that makes sense. Like recognize, I think one of the issues, for example, is, honestly, probably the best way to play Dead Rising. Oh, fuck. Fucking save your wife. Where is she? Well, that's a revert. Like, God, I lost my point because she's getting attacked. So, like, I like the approach of 3 because I think it fixes, I think, some issues. I haven't played it yet. It's, like, coming up on the stream. I want to go through it as, like, a blind run through. But make it hard, like, oh, you're constantly, like, I guess the issue is, like, with the timer, 3 days is almost too much. Like, if you go play, like, Case West, Case Zero, like, those single day, the timer works really well. Because they can craft that experience to be, like, super exact, because it's not that hard to play test 2 hours instead of 8. So I feel like sometimes you end up with, like, way too much free time or nowhere nearly enough just based off when you play. So I don't know. I think Dead Rising 3 had a thing that was kind of good. I don't know how it was implemented. I think it might have had other issues, done other things right. But I do think they need to find a way to have the timer, but it can't just be a straight up 3-day timer. I think that has its merits, but I think they need to find out this is what we like, and how can we keep that, like, concept, like, oh, like, I know, like, some of the best parts of the timers, like, when I was doing my master run of Dead Rising 1, where it's like, or I was doing the stream, I think it's a couple weeks back, that, oh man, I have so little time, I have to go, what is it, I was bringing back, oh yeah, I did the Barnaby Scoop, where you go stay with Carlito, and, like, oh man, that means I have to go get medicine. And so I'm, like, going back and doing all this stuff, and, like, running low on time. It's like, okay, that's done. Oh shit, I'm running out of time to do the Hatchet Man scoop. So, oh man, it's gonna suck. Or, oh man, now the coward's up too, I'm running out of time of that. And then you go into the Paradise Plaza, and the cult spawns. It's like, oh, like, girl, I'll save you. We don't have time. You're coming with me. Like, dragging them out of Paradise Plaza to go kill the Psycho. That's when the game's fun, because it's so different. So how can they, like, engineer those moments without it just being, like, arbitrary? Like, how can they still let you have time to do stuff like travel around the world and not losing a ton of time on that? But then also, say if you're really good, let you have those, like, heart-pacing moments. But then if you're really bad, give you a little bit, I guess, a time where it matters. Yeah. So, I don't know. I hear what you're saying about the crazy weapons. That was interesting. Are these explosive? Interesting. Like, I do see where you're coming from with that as well. And I think a lot of people are that way. Like, they just don't want, like, they don't want Saints Row, essentially, you know? Where you're running around like, oh, I got my dildo gun, which is a thing in Dead Rising 3, isn't it? And I totally get that. And I think that's one of the reasons, like, for example, they just really haven't nailed... Oh, of course, like Chuck's about. They haven't nailed, what's it called? I completely forgot what I was talking about. Whatever it was, they haven't nailed that. You know, I need to get one of these guys drunk. That would also give me that achievement. Yo, I'll heal you up. Huh. Was that a thing? That only took like 2 drinks. I wonder if that's like a thing. Oh, that's not. Oh yeah, crazy ones. They haven't nailed, I keep having to pause this talk. They haven't nailed combo weapons. And I know they wanted it to be originally something like... Because Dead Rising's thing is like everything's a weapon, right? That was its original call. Why is it giving me the arrow? There we go.
Come on, speed it up.
There we go.
This way.
So I believe combo weapons spawn from the idea that it's like, well, I'm going to find 2 weapons... Like, put them together because that's all I had. But then obviously, like, that fell to be more... Can I carry you? I don't think I have a move like that. I might be regret. I guess... No, I was gonna say I could just restart now that I had achievement. But that won't work because I want the unlock as well.
Speed it up.
You go over there. This should be okay. Let me go get this person. But I get obviously why like stuff like the crazy combo weapons sell better. And I think that just like kind of self-propagates. I get why it does, and I get why they continue doing it. But I don't know how else you would do it, because you essentially, ideally you would need to make combo weapons with like every weapon in the game. Or like guess what kind of people would think to make. I don't know. Like, I just don't know how you'd do it. I think Dead Rising kind of has like an identity problem in a way, where it doesn't know what it wants to be. Was there a key here that I just saw? Oh no, I just saw that.
Hey, keep up.
Where like it doesn't know if it wants to be like this action game, where it's all about killing lots of zombies. Does it want to be survival horror? Does it want to be, I don't know, suspense or something? Like so many elements just kind of like don't mesh, if that makes sense. Like it wants to be like a sandbox game, but then it also wants to be a horror game, and they don't work because horror needs to be like very finely tuned, essentially. So stuff like the timer means like you don't have a lot of time to run it, just go and fuck around, right? And then like how can the game be fun and open and silly, but then also be really dark and horror in the same way? That's a very hard thing to nail.
Follow me.
Or it's like how can it? Oh fuck, Doris, no.
Let's hustle it up.
Don't die on me. I guess it's my fault for getting her drunk. I should be able to save this person, come back, and then they'll help. I think that'll do it. But yeah, I get you about, I don't want him to be the main focus either, but I don't know. Sorry. I'm going. But, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I do think the Dead Rising franchise needs to reinvent if it wants to stay relevant. Because already it has all like the trappings of like a AAA game or what have you. Oh, I might be fucked. I'm gonna fuck myself. Because I went through there, I lost my checkpoint. Okay. I seem to be fine, but like for example, if she was always gonna get grabbed right away by a zombie and I couldn't reach her in time, the only thing I could do is my last save, and that'd be way far long ago. Don't you. She's gonna like grab Denise. Or not, Denise Norris. I don't know, it has to find its niche. Because like I talked before, like, it's a great game, it's awesome, but you just beat it, you're done with it, and then everyone forgets it. Like, I know when I started making videos back in that old series, a big issue was, or not an issue, I went to the Dead Rising subreddit just like to post and like talk about it, because I felt like I had a lot of things I wanted to say, and there was like, it was dead. And this was like, I don't know, maybe a year after, I don't know, when Dead Rising 3 came out. Not a year, it was longer than that. But for the size of game I thought it was, no one was on the subreddit. And even like the forums, there was just like no talk about it. Everyone was just kind of like done with the game and moved on. Whereas you look at like something like Skyrim, like even before their master, it was still worth it to go back and play like a Skyrim. It's still worth it to go back. I'd go back and play Halo just for the fun of it. Dead Rising, it's like, even me personally, like, man, I'd really like to go do that, but I don't wanna like have to go commit to playing 8 hours. So I don't know. So I don't know. The combo mechanics I think could be good, but I don't know how you'd fix them. Yeah, I enjoyed everything as a weapon too. I think the issue, like, they tried to fix it in Dead Rising 3, to my knowledge, because you could make combo weapons out of a vehicle, is my understanding. And so that lets you be a little bit more, I think, about, like, oh, collect supplies and then make whatever, instead of having, oh, these very specific combinations. Like, it was more just, like, gather kind of stuff. And I think that's a better approach. And they didn't nail it there yet, either. But then, oh, it's an idea, like, oh, I recognize that, like, oh, I have duct tape. Well, I'm going to save that for later, and then I'll make that into something when I need it. But whereas, like, Dead Rising 2 definitely suffers from, like, let's see, a fracas. What is that word? Hold on. So I think Dead Rising 3 did that a little bit better, but then you had this issue where a fracas? It's a noisy disturbance or quarrel. I've never seen that word. But anyway, I think they did slightly better, but then you have this issue where you just made the same weapons every time, which is always an issue with Dead Rising. It's like, I always go get the Defiler, I always get the knife gloves. But when you could always literally make the exact same thing and it was the best, what's the point? Yeah, and I think that a lot of games went through this. Like, a good example is Borderlands. I always argued had the same issue, where you go play Borderlands 2 and you go play Borderlands 1, and there is not a lot about that game that's similar. Borderlands 1, even though, like, it went from, like, really gritty Mad Max to, like, what it was, it's still, like, so much far behind Borderlands 2. And then you go look at the DLCs, like Borderlands 1, it's very serious, sci-fi, gritty. Not very, but pretty much compared to the later ones. And then people are like, oh, well, people like the humor, so they went, like, all in on that with the zombie DLC that was all, like, very obviously, like, not canon. Like, oh, the villain's just a reskin character with an evil mustache and tons of references. And, like, people are like, oh, well, people don't like that, so let's make a horde mode instead. And that was, like, kind of neat. And it was more about the RPG and, like, holding out. And people like, well, that doesn't work. And then, like, well, let's try this thing, this kind of humor sense with the last two. And then they nailed it. And then they just, like, oh, we found the thing. Let's go 200%. And then Borderlands 2 was amazing because they found that niche. They found out what the series was, like, meant to be, and it's been amazing since then. And I think I don't think Dead Rising has hit that exact niche yet. It's still, like, every element in Dead Rising is like 80 or 90% of what it could be. Like, it's all on a whole good. It's just everything else could be, like, slightly better. Like, stuff like, if only the survivor system was, like, a little bit more fleshed out. If only there was, like, a little bit more survivors and it wasn't, like, too crazy, but, yeah. You should have seen the Dead Rising subreddit when I came to it. Like, I've done stuff to help with it. Like, one of the reasons I want to start making more of the videos again, like the Psycho Guides, is just because what that game really what that subreddit really needs is just more people to post on it. Like, they don't have to be good posts, just post on it. Like, it needs, I don't know, flux. Like, just stuff going through it. Even if they're, like, shit posts, it still brings it alive. And I think that's one thing is where, because there's not enough, like, posts going through it, all the bad posts just stay up there for days. And, again, because the issue is, like, you just beat Dead Rising and you move on from it. That's so, I mean, yeah, if you're, like, you have a very specific use case, like, oh, I'll go do challenge runs for Dead Rising. So I have replayability, but I don't think, at least I have an audience for that. I don't think the average player would just be willing to be like, I'm going to go beat Cletus using only my fists. That's not something the average player would want to do. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what game's going to be where this is the Dead Rising game. They nailed it. But I hope it's coming. Honestly, I think probably one of the best Dead Rising games might have been Case Zero. And this is ignoring 1, because obviously 1 was, like, the first of its kind. It was awesome. It was original. Had a lot of, like, quirks that I don't think were perfect, but it's, like, also the first one, so it, like, worked out. And I think the experience was a little bit more crafted, so it wasn't as it wasn't as crazy, I guess. But yeah, I'm gonna play 3 on the channel. Hopefully, coming up in the next month or so. Maybe I should. I want to play 3 before 4 comes out, but 4 comes out next month. So I might either have to stream more for that or figure something else out. But 3 is definitely like kind of like different.
Hey, sorry, buddy. I thought you were one of those crazies. Just can't trust people anymore.
I know Dead Rising is a very just an odd series. Like it's almost like it doesn't feel like it's
They're annoying, sure.
ever was.
They're easy.
Yeah, it just hasn't reached the game it should be.
Well, kind of fun.
I'm trying to think. It'd be better. I want to make a video series about this where I talk about it because it'd be easier if I sat down and wrote out my points instead of trying to make them while I fight Chuck. But
Violence.
there's so much about, like for example, in Dead Rising 1, what I would love to have seen is obviously, for example, they coded
Makes
AI behavior like per character. So like
like that.
survivors have personalities about when they get scared and like what they'll do when they're scared. Like for example, Aaron's thing is
Coming together.
he runs in circles when he's scared, whereas the survivor from the Chryslips fight, who's like locked away, I believe it's one of the male survivors, with the blue shirt. When he's scared, he crawls. And sort of others, they have these different actions. But they don't tell you that, and they never explain that or explain it before. Like, I think they should like present it before you take them. But instead, because they don't actually present that as a thing, it just looks like a bug. It's look, Aaron's running to a wall. It's like, well, no, he's running in circles, and he just got stuck because they didn't really flesh that out as much as they should have. And it's like, eh. Or like conversely, in 2,
Didn't get her Zombrex every
they made the AI survivor so much better, but they're almost too good. Where like when I play Dead Rising 2, I ignore survivor. It's like, okay, we got you. I'm just gonna run to the end of the area because no one's gonna get grabbed. I'm gonna not acknowledge them at all. I'm just gonna wait at the end until I see my green circles, and I'm gonna press B. That's how I play Dead Rising 2. And even off the record, it's better, but now it's almost like I don't have like any dynamic with them. It's just constantly like babysitting them, but they didn't. It's not like yet like Dead Rising 1 where you have to like clear away. You just kind of have to like sit and like wait for them to get caught, save them, and then run. And that's not ideal either.
my kid.
But anyway, that's good. I gotta get shot. I should have brought some weapons probably. Come on. Let's try this out. Oh, that's pretty good. I can totally get behind this thing. Oh, yes. I was thinking so much about the Mega Buster, I didn't think I could move. I talk. For example, psychos. Like, Dead Rising has always had amazing psychos. I don't know how he's... But I always hated that they don't play by your rules. Like, kind of how, like, oh, because they get stuck, they give them, like, extra armor and stuff. Like, so if you're hitting them a lot, they start taking less damage. It's like, come on, that's bullshit. Or like the fact that they just can't straight up can't get staggered sometimes. It's like, really?
Great.
It just doesn't. I don't know. It bugs me a lot, actually. Well, that fight was way easier with that. So I don't know. I feel bad. I don't want to comment on 4 until I played 3 until it's come out. Which makes me feel bad because I get that question all the time, and I wish I had a better thing, but answer for it. But also, if I don't. Yeah, come see it. I don't know. I might do like a blind playthrough on a stream, and I might do more of a. I might do like more of a master run for it. So that way, if you don't want to play it, here's everything about it. Because that was the other thing about my like elevator speech for the master run series was this is the game in a nutshell. So it's like here's a bunch of tips. Here's a bunch of, like, thoughts about the story, but I thought there was a key over here. Maybe it's by the elevator, so never mind. But, like, stuff like, oh, I'll point out important parts about the story you might not pick up on your first time. Stuff like that. And then, I don't know, I wouldn't mind doing something like that. Have I ever used this weapon, or is this new? I think it's just a reskin spear, isn't it? Huh. But anyway, I might do something like that as a video series instead of a stream for Dead Rising 4, just so you can be like, hey, if you don't want to support it, if you don't want to buy it, here's everything you'd want to see. Like, so say if Dead Rising 5 comes out and it's amazing, like it's best game ever or something, then this way you can get like your story primer without having to like go buy another game or something, what have you. I might do something like that because I think a lot of people are in that boat, but I don't know, it just sucks. Like, I think I was like Jeffrey on the sub who like worked for Capcom talked about a lot of their promotional material for Dead Rising 4, which was super enlightening. And I think one of the things he talked about is, honestly, like, from what research they've done, there is a very large majority of people they need to market to that have never heard of Dead Rising. Not even like, oh yeah, there's that, it's that game, right? With the zombies, they're like, Dead Rising, is that like a Resident Evil spin-off, or I don't know. So like that's why stuff like crazy weapons may not be, I don't know, like very enticing for like their fan base, but it's like you think about like Saints Row. It's like, yeah, I mean, they might not want to go like crazy all the time, but do you know what's memorable? It's someone who's never seen the game before. Dildo sword. That's memorable. Like, you can see a commercial and be like, oh yeah, remember what was that game that had the dildo sword again? Like, that's marketable. And so I can see why they would take that approach. You guys better not die on my back here. So I don't know. It's one of the things. I think Capcom knows what. I think they recognize, like I said, what they need to do, or how do I say it? That something needs to be done to kind of change the series to be something else. But sitting down and just creating that solution, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know at all how you would approach that even. Like, that's a very hard problem to solve. So, I don't know. It almost seems like weird because, like, I think one of the things that I also suffered from is Dead Rising 3 came out and had a lot of DLC. I think so almost the point, instead of having a Dead Rising 4 earlier, we just had more DLC for 3. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but obviously got less press, essentially. So I feel like, it feels like I haven't really heard about Dead Rising for a very long time.
Yep. There's a guy crying in the Farouk collection in Palisades.
So, I think, like, I honestly, internally, I think of Dead Rising 4 being similar to, like, kind of Gears 4 or, like, Halo 4, where they're essentially kind of, like, starting a new trilogy or starting a new thing, even though it's still one linear story. Let me check some of my stuff here. But anyway, also, yeah, thanks for watching, by the way. I plan on going for a while still, but just general stuff. If you ever want to contact me on the Dead Rising subreddit, I have my Reddit name. This is always hard. It's reversed for me. I have my Twitter handle and my my Reddit username on next to my head. So if you ever want to contact me on Twitter. I'll probably answer you like straight away. I'm pretty sure I have that set up right. But it's like any question or like ask me when I'm streaming. Anytime, just tweet at me. I'm trying to get into like a thing. I'll cover that, but I'm trying to get back into Twitter, but. Or if you want to contact me on Reddit, I also have my Reddit username. That's it. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm a mod of the Dead Rising subreddit. I'm the guy that's doing their CSS, which I keep meaning to do more, but it's been a slow trickle because like I've been trying to get this bot to work, and that's been taking a lot of time. But it's also like it's very hard to work in that piecemeal. Like it's easy if to play if I want to go play something over a break, I can go play it for 15 minutes. It's very hard to start to code something 5 or 10 minutes at a time. That's not so easy. But it's slowly coming. But yeah, if you ever want to get a hold of me, use either of those. Anyway, I used to be really into Twitter and particularly Snapchat when I was in college, which is 6 months ago. No, 12 months ago in December. Brian, why do you just take a ton of damage? And then I fell out of it because I realized while I was really good at that, yeah. Well, I don't necessarily know I think what I'm hoping for is that the entire game isn't like that. It's just that's the part they're going to highlight, if that makes sense. Because like you look at even like Dead Rising 1, the stuff they used to sell it was stuff like, oh look, everything's a weapon. But that I feel like that actually doesn't come up that much. You still end up using like honestly, some of the best weapons in the game are still guns. Whereas I think the best approach for Dead Rising is like if they had really good interactions. Like I think the best example of amazing like what Dead Rising could be was killing Carlito in Dead Rising 1, like Sniper Carlito, using the hockey stick. Because that's like classic, like Dead Rising 1 should be like Rube Goldberg zombie killing simulator. Like really weird contraptions that like, yeah, it's dumb, but like, oh, if that's all you had, you would beat someone to death with a dildo, like to save your life. Or like, oh, hey, well, yeah, you don't have a gun, but you could totally see like, I'm gonna kill you with a hockey stick because I can hide behind a pillar. Like that makes sense in a way. And I think that's the best example. But that doesn't... I lost my point a little bit here. But like how, in a way, it seems like if they sold the game as you can use anything, but you really don't ever use anything in Dead Rising. Like you can use that foam finger, but you won't. You won't. So, I don't know. I have to go get this guy. Do I have time? I have like a whole hour, but it's a cross thing. Might as well. If I had the shortcut, it'd be so much easier. Anyway, I used to be like really into Twitter and Snapchat and stuff. And then I realized I had this issue where it was great because in college I had all these people that knew each other, so I could make comments like, oh, about something, or like, hey, inside joke, or man, isn't this funny? But then I realized none of that works if you don't know the people in the snaps, or you don't know the people I'm tweeting about. And it wasn't anything crazy like, oh, haha, isn't Steve so dumb? Like, that's obviously really specific. But even just like, oh, well, I spend a lot of my days with my coworkers, but I wouldn't Snapchat them, and it wouldn't be the same kind of humor. But at the same time, I can't Snapchat these people that I no longer really see, or the other people I do hang around with, they don't really Snapchat either, so it just felt like, I don't know. Hard to use. I want to get back into that. Like, I really enjoy using like Twitter and stuff, but I just have to get back in the swing of remembering, oh, I should tweet this. Especially like after like I have cool stuff I like to work on that I feel like I don't have like I never get to talk about. Like how I really keep meaning I need to tweet out my setup for streaming because it's like it's cool. Having like these lights and stuff and the green screen, I actually think is really cool. I would love to tweet stuff like that, and I just need to actually get around to doing it. Like it's weird, like I bought these like essentially they're photography lights. And I bought them because they make a big difference when you're filming, honestly. Like, you don't think it does because how your eye handles stuff, but when you see it on camera, big difference. But anyway, it's weird, though, how I'll just keep them on because they're just actually really useful. Like, I was using it to work on that circuit and having, like, a giant bright light you could just stick anywhere. Amazing. I think maybe Dead Rising, one thing it suffers from is just, I think, maybe it gets devalued a little bit just because what it could be at its high level is just not what it's, I guess, like sells as. I think there's a lot of people that just like want, I don't know, certain experience. Like some people just like want the story of Dead Rising and then they don't really want the challenge. Like, I don't know. It's hard to say that in a way without being sound like, oh well. I should... Hold on. I need to look. Make sure I'm not missing survivors. Okay, I'm still good, yeah. I forget to check my walkthrough here. For, like, hidden survivors and stuff. But I think a lot of people, they just want to, like... They want a game to go on and kill zombies and just mess around with. They just want a sandbox mode.
Yes?
I see two guys in from Fortune with Love at the theme park. I'm not sure if they're laughing or...
Oh god, those fuckers. So I don't know. I don't know what the best direction is for it. I expect I think Capcom Vancouver is going to do a really good job. I think they're aware. I think they're aware of kind of like what makes the game like really good. So I don't think the entire game is just going to be filler. Because honestly, I think if they're fans at all of Dead Rising, you would make a game that they themselves would want to play. So I don't think it's going to be like, oh man, they didn't know at all what they were thinking. I think it's still going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be interesting. I felt that, I mean, I haven't watched too many trailers and stuff, but I think the overall aesthetic of the game, like the look of it, not necessarily what's being said or what they're doing in a one demo. I think it's actually a step back from what Dead Rising 2 was. I think Dead Rising 2, and especially off the record, more than anyone, is just like, oh, really crazy and stuff. Like, oh, look, all the crazy stuff you can do, all these combo weapons. I think that's in 3, but I don't think that's as much of a feature, and I think they might be taking a step back. Because it seemed like the combo weapons were a little bit more centered around realistic stuff. Like, they still have dumb combo weapons, but still, I don't know. I feel bad because I don't like talking on the topic because honestly, I have not done a lot of research on that. Like, I really should go watch like a bunch of trailers. I should go watch a bunch of stuff, but it'd actually be really cool if I could ever swing it. I would love to go actually meet the Capcom team. It's like, man, I played a lot of the games. I would love to talk to them about Dead Rising from like a software dev perspective. Like, there's some stuff in Dead Rising I'm like, oh my god, I'm really glad I don't have to code that. Like, all this, like, it's already hard to write like pathfinding AI. I can't imagine doing it in a Dead Rising game where like you can so freely move like furniture, and even though you don't think people would, like, you can take survivors way out of their comfort zone. Like, I always remember like messing around and taking like the beginning couple from Dead Rising 1 to like really far away places just to like take photos with them. It's like, hey, here's a picture of the couple from the beginning game with the with Carlito in the truck in the maintenance tunnel. Because it's one of those things where it's like, no one else has done this. I don't know, it's just interesting seeing that like backdrop. But yeah, they really like, since their AI was never, I assume, tested for that. You can tell they struggle. Or like doing like Frank the Pimp, like making survivors stay alive way longer than they should be in a weird dark way. You can kind of see like, oh, yeah, they didn't have this guy run through North Plaza, because why would you? Who would ever be dumb enough to take this guy to North Plaza? I would.
Hey, Frank, can you come back to the security room for a minute? I want you to have a look at something.
All right. I kind of would like to save those two joke comedians on the way back, if I can. Randolph, you better not get grabbed. Yeah. I might want to focus here just so if I can save these two comedians, it's going to give me a huge time boost, since I don't have to go back and get them again. See, that's one of the... Replacing Frank, I think, is one of the reasons why I view it as... Oh, are they, like, really out of the way, aren't they? Yeah, I can wait on that. That's not... I'll go here. So I think there's a bigger plan that they can't talk about with why they're replacing Frank. I had heard a rumor that supposedly someone that went to a convention and talked to one of the staff was that there was... Well, I think it's a thing, and there's gonna be another Dead Rising movie. And I think one of the reasons they replaced the actor was that they wanted someone who, how do I put this? Like, they needed someone who could work in both. Like, the voice actor for Frank is also going to play Frank in the movie, which was not the case when they made the last one. I also think I believe just recently, the actor that played the voice actor for Frank in every other game made a post about, essentially, he was in SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, and as part of that, he had to go on a strike, and that might have been one of the reasons why Capcom didn't want to use him, because he would be essentially, they knew he was very likely to go on strike during the main development time. Yeah. Oh, I'll actually go do that if you can. I'll go research some more of Dead Rising 4 once I get off, which, I don't know how late I'm going to go, because again, I have to get up early on a Saturday to actually work. But it's not like, I'll talk about that. I'll write that down about what I have to do tomorrow. Oh my god. But anyway, I think they recognize that switching Frank is tough. I think there's a couple other details about why they didn't necessarily stay with the same one. But at the same time, I think they think it's just kind of like growing pains, because I think going forward, they're going to make a major step forward with like Dead Rising and doing a lot of other stuff. Welcome back, that boy. I saw your comment on the very beginning before the stream started. Appreciate it, and welcome back. But I think that they recognize, well, like, it's going to suck, but we need to do it eventually. So say they want to produce Dead Rising 4, 5, and 6. It's a lot better to do it as this kind of like pseudo reboot. Like, I do think of Dead Rising 4 as a thematic reboot of Dead Rising, where same characters, like story, still canon, but it's thematically different. And I think it's better to do it now and get it over with. So for the rest of, I say a trilogy because that's very common. I don't know what they have planned. I think it's a little more linear than that. So that's just over and done with. They can get it behind them. I think they recognize it's just kind of a thing. Like, it sucks, but we have to do something. I think that's kind of what's happening. And it's something where I'm sure the devs are like, no, trust me, it's going to be so great. We just can't tell you about some of the stuff. Like, I don't think it's like a straight up just like, no, sorry, we recognize that you guys are big fans, but we just want, and we're going to do a 180. This is it now. I don't think they're like that. I think like, no, I think they really take a lot of it. Sorry, I just noticed something on the screen. I'm going to look at that. Sorry, hold on. I need to make a note about something. But anyway, I feel like it's a thematic reboot for Dead Rising 4. Yeah. Well, I think, yeah, it's just like, I think they recognize it sucks. I think there might be a reason behind it. I don't think it's something they could ever talk about. And I wish this was a thing. I wish there was, like, developers would make almost like a doomsday commentary. That's like, we're gonna freaking, what's it called out? Time capsule this. Like, this thing is gonna come out 20 years after Dead Rising 1 releases. And it's going to be like a developer's straight up like anything goes commentary on it. But it won't be released for 20 years, so it's long after it matters. And they can say like, oh yeah, this was totally like everyone disagreed with that. Or, oh hey, I really wish we could have said this at this time, that it was, oh, we're going on this whole different direction. It was going to be good. Like, or even just like developer commentaries in games, I wish was a thing. Like, I know there on YouTube, if you ever played Conker's Bad Fur Day, there's a developer commentary that they did, the guys who made the game, because there's only like 3 or 4 guys that really featured on it. And this is long after Xbox dissolved Rare and stuff, so like they no longer work for the company. They no longer have any ties to it. It's just purely them playing this game, talking about all this stuff, and it's super cool, the stuff they say. Like, they talk about how like, Oh, I thought it was a bad cutscene. They talk about how, like, people couldn't emulate Conker for, like, the longest time because it uses a very weird setup internally on the N64. Or they talk about how, like, if you know Conker's Bad Fur Day, there's a boss called the Great Mighty Pooh, and he's an opera singer. And people are always like, yeah, we'd always get letters about, oh, did you hire a famous opera singer? Or did you, like, have someone, like, send a file in? And they're like, no, it was just Steve from accounting. It was just like, all these great stories they talk about, like, oh yeah, we didn't want to do this, or like, yeah, the camera sucks, but we were told we had to like ship. That may not be something specific, but since they no longer have any like relationship, they can be very honest, like, yeah, this was a bad section, but we had to do this. Like, this had to be done this way just because it was that, or don't ship the game. And I would love to hear that, like, in 20 years, what the reasoning behind stuff for Dead Rising 4 was. I also think it can suffer from the idea of, like, it's like a common thing with like characters, like the writer might know something about a character when they make the character, but nothing in the initial iteration of it shows that. So to the writer, they're still being true to themselves, so they take a character in a way different direction, but to the audience, it doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to think of a good example for that. Like, I can't, but say if they made it a thing that Frank was like, I don't know, really scared of spiders or something. Maybe that was a thing in Dead Rising 1. It just never came up. And then Dead Rising 4, they have like this whole thing like, oh my god, spiders, and he like, freaks out, runs away, and it seems super out of character. That's like a really exaggerated version of it. But you'd be like, oh, that's wrong. So, well, technically, you don't know the character. Technically, they know the character, but that's also like not a good way to do it because you have to write base the character's implementation. I think a little bit of that has happened with Frank, where the implementation of Frank has been so different from his character that it's become something they didn't necessarily intend him to be, and not in a bad way. But like, for example, I think one of the reasons people like Frank so much is because of Off the Record and Case West, is they had a lot of time to really refine his character that Chuck didn't have, and I don't know if Nick has that level either. So it was like, oh, you have all these games. I believe I've gotten everything far. Let me get to it. So you have all these games where like Frank looks increasingly better and better because they've had so much time, and it's just like they haven't had the time to put that on other characters. So Frank starts becoming this kind of like darling child where it's like, of course he looks better because they spent more time perfecting his character. And like even like in Off the Record, I made a point where in the cutscenes, because like they're essentially reusing Dead Rising 2's cutscenes and just adding in Frank, you could tell they had time to really perfect like the face. And maybe it's just because all Chuck does is like raise his eyebrows, and that's his like every expression. He's just like, Chuck's always just like, what or grr. Like that's every expression Chuck has. Whereas Frank has a lot of really good facial expressions. But on the other hand, that's like almost like a technical reason. Like, oh, we didn't have like development time to like make Chuck more expressive, or maybe that just wasn't his character. And so by comparison, Frank seems like super relatable and interesting and fits so much better than Chuck does. Like, well, that wasn't intentional. It's not necessarily a better written character. It's just for logistic reasons and stuff, he's more approachable, and that just kind of, I think, cascades. So I think that's kind of why he came when he did. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but that's just like a thought I was kind of thinking about earlier. Anyway, yes, I believe I have every survivor. I even got, right now I'm going off a guide, but I believe I'm gonna go get the Art Appreciation Brains Over Brawn. Whatever the comedians are, Two's Company, that's it. I'm gonna go with these guys now for the scoop, and I believe I have everyone up until now. Even the hidden scoop with the dude on the silver strip, he gave me an issue though. It's much easier when you're higher level though. Like I really don't, as long as I know where I'm going, I don't think I'm gonna have any issue with this. Really, the main issue with my last stream is I didn't know what to do. So I constantly was like, oh, revert. And then as you lose time, it just like snowballs. Like, oh, it takes longer to like to beat psychos and save survivors. Well, that's less time I could have been like making better weapons and then beating psychos faster, and it just sucks. Like, honestly, I feel like a lot of guides I could make for Dead Rising about how like, oh, here's tips on how to escort survivors, or here's how you do that, could just be fixed with like guides are like, oh, just go pick up a skateboard, because just using a skateboard at a low level will save you so much time that translates to so much easier survivor interactions than any small little tip I could otherwise. And that's just part of the timer, I think. I really wish they rewrote these jokes. Maybe that was it, actually. This is a note about me. I've seen Back to the Future, but like many things, I have a terrible memory when it comes to that stuff. I really want to go watch those like now, like as an adult, because I can't tell you anything about Back to the Future. But God, my nose is just like itching. So I wish I could say I knew exactly an example. But I do think that's like a thing where it's like, well, then you have an issue, and that can be a very hard thing to recognize. Like when you have a view of Frank, I think this is the guy I want to give it to. But yeah, I don't know. Plus, like maybe they need to like also like fit other things in, and so they need to stretch the character to fit the situation a little bit better. Like for example, one of the biggest issues they have is like Frank could have like a really interesting character, or like Chuck, for example. Better example is, say like everyone loved Chuck and they like loved his daughter and like we want to play more Chuck. Chuck's not a character who would willingly go back into a zombie like outbreak. Like, but at the same time, if it just keeps happening to this one guy, that's kind of like, really, like you're stretching logic a little bit too far there. But at the same time, it's like, well, if you have to do that so that people can have the character they want, there's no great way to do that. And so I don't know. So maybe they have to make Frank like a little more like, oh, I originally thought Frank was like I thought I remember seeing a cutscene for Frank where he worked for Phenotrans, and I think this might be the intro to the sandbox mode, where he jumps out of the helicopter. He's like, "Oh, this is my vacation." And I thought it was gonna be a thing where I need to turn around. I went entirely the wrong way. There you go. Where I could see it being like Frank, like since he's already like infected. Oh god damn it, Royce. I really don't want to do this. There you go. I could see it being a character like for Frank since he's already done this so many times and he's already bitten. As long as he has Zombrex, zombies really aren't a threat. Because the zombie's not going to really kill you, they're only going to really infect you.
Keep up. Let's go. Hurry up.
Gotta hate, I'm really unfamiliar with the zone, so I never know where the transition is. I think if you get close enough, it shows. Yeah, there. So I'm always afraid I'm gonna like go way too soon. Yeah. I don't know. In one way, I get that the position in Dead Rising is kind of weird, but on the other way, it's like it's kind of cool being part of like the community when there's so much interesting stuff happening, if that makes sense. Like Dead Rising feels a little more alive because of stuff like the Frank thing, whereas it would just be like, oh, just I'm just gonna set an alert on my phone for 4 months from now when Dead Rising 4 comes out. Just send me a message, I'll go buy it then, maybe. You know? It makes me feel alive. Like there's like, I don't know, just an investment. Like that's something I haven't felt for a long time, is an investment in a game. Because a lot of times, like, for a while the issue was like I didn't have an Xbox One. So like I couldn't play Dead Rising 3, and that's why I haven't. Dude. I'm eagerly waiting your response, Zero Suit, after this dude. My nose is like itching me. See, I want to watch it. By everything I want to watch, like every reason I want to watch it. I don't know where to watch it. I need to find it. I think Netflix has like only 3. Or maybe they have 1 but not the other 2. I haven't looked recently. But I do want to watch it because I know it's like I recognize it as being a big thing, and also it's like something where it's really relevant to, I guess, like, oh, I don't want to say my childhood, but I guess like my generation. But I need to find a copy of it. I really want to. I really want to binge the whole series. Maybe I can do it this Saturday, tomorrow, I guess, if I can find it. But it's tough. But at the same time, it's like I don't want to buy movies. Like if I could buy them digitally in a decent way, I would. But god damn it, Walter. God damn it, Royce. That's gonna be a revert, isn't it? I'm always curious, how do they break out at all? Like, it seems like completely like arbitrary. So I need to revert, otherwise I just realized it. Again, almost screwed myself over. By going through. Which yeah, I really want to watch it before it starts becoming too irrelevant. I just gotta find it. And it's one of those other things where it's like, it's never something I think to do with my free time. Like, let me go look up where I can find Back to the Future. Whereas if there was a good, maybe if it's on like Amazon Video or something, and I can rent it for a couple bucks, I would totally do that. But how the hell did that bullet go down there? It was, I don't know what was up with that. That was weird. But yeah, it's like one of those things I want to watch. There's a lot of movies. Like I've been going back through with like my girlfriend, and just like watching a ton of movies essentially. For that exact like reason. Is I feel like I missed so many movies as a kid, or like I watched them when I was like super young, and I really just didn't internalize them at all. So going back as an adult, there's like a lot more to appreciate. Especially like the really old like Disney ones. Like I watched What was it? Little Mermaid was a great example where you watch that as a kid and you're like, yeah, whatever, because I'm a kid. And then you watch it as an adult and you're like, fuck this chick. You're like, she's like 14 or 16 in that movie and it's only like an hour long. And it's just like everything about her is just like, screw you. It's like almost like infuriating to watch that movie. Whereas other movies are like really interesting now as a adult. I think Back to the Future is like one that probably stands up more than anything.
I totally appreciate it.
It's too bad I can't stream movies, otherwise I would. So I think I can grab a new one, can I? Yeah. Perfect. This run is amazing. Oh, I got water too. I'm like starving, but I don't want to be that guy that eats on mic. Plus, I'm on like a diet, and that's been going great. But the only downside is like sometimes like I bought these like I don't know what you would call them. The store calls them grillers. It's like shredded chicken pressed into a patty with like peppers, sausage, and I think some potatoes or something. Anyway, they turned out to be like way higher calorie than I thought. Well, it's like, well, fuck, I bought them, so I'm gonna eat them. So I made one for like dinner last night and one for lunch today. But then the only like bun I had was like 250 calories. And the thing is, like, it was really good, but it wasn't nearly as filling as I could get for that many calories. So, but I still got to eat it. So I ended up eating it without the bun today. But even then, it's like, man, I wasted all my calories, and I could have had like I could have had like a whole chicken, like a little entire chicken, and I would have been way more filled. It's just annoying to me, like, I don't know, when I accidentally spend that. What's Plex? I've never heard of Plex. I might take you up on that, but I want to look for Netflix, because like, I know Netflix has some, and if they added all of them, I would just watch them on Netflix, because then at least I have that there. But I wish I was like more into movies, but something about them just feels like I gotta be doing something else. Like, the majority of media I consume is always like I need to be able to do something while I watch it. So like I don't watch a ton of streams, but those would be something I'd watch. Or like I realize there's a lot of like the worst of the series that are interesting enough that I want to watch them, but they're too detailed that I can't watch them without sitting down and watching them. But they're not so fascinating that they. Is this? Wait, why is he here? Oh, yeah. If I knew he was there, I would have just gone. I wouldn't have saved them. Why? God damn it. I thought it was in his old location. Oh, there's a key here. There's a key here.
Might be something good.
But anyway, so like there's a bunch of series like that. Like I was watching like Supernatural with my girlfriend. I've been doing it more, but for the longest time I wouldn't watch it because I couldn't watch it while I played stuff because it was too detail oriented. Whereas I don't know. What's another good example? Like my girlfriend was like super into like Naruto in high school, not high school, middle school. I'll give her that. She wasn't like one of those like ninja kids, which that's a whole thing. There was an amazing Reddit thread like, Reddit, tell me about your school's ninja kid. And everyone's like, oh, let me tell you. But there's actually a very good post where someone's like, oh, actually, my ninja kid, I don't get why everyone else is being weird about it. Our ninja kid was awesome. Because there's like a dude who's like, he was the ninja kid, but he was like actually good at it. And was actually super good at like parkour and stuff. And he could actually like throw like the fucking kunai and like hit a target like really accurately. And it was awesome. Anyway, so I was like, oh, I'll watch this. It's on Netflix. And that's great. Because if I go into a boss fight and I tune out for like 3 episodes, guess what? It's so much filler, you didn't miss anything. It doesn't matter. But also it's kind of cool, like, seeing all those, like, cultural references, and like, oh, now I get that now. Oh, I was really hoping that would block. Which is the only reason I didn't dodge. That seemed to, like, shock him, or like there's almost like a secondary effect on that. Nice. Fuck your tracking. What's that? Got it. I really wish it was like they changed it up, but I like the idea. So in this version of the game, he's the guy that plants the bomb that releases the zombies, and I kind of wish that I saved it. It was laid out in such a way that it told more canon story, because even though Dead Rising 2 doesn't tell you that he did it, you would know from this game. Oh yeah, it was actually him. Fuck.
Hey, any leads?
I don't get why they kill her. Like, that seems really arbitrary. Nice. Let's see. Do I not have anyone? Okay. I feel like there's must be some hidden survivor if there's not. Okay, I have once bitten, so I need Zombrex, so I need to hit up that bank. Just the left here. This run is ridiculous. Yeah, dude, thanks. I really enjoyed talking to you. It's always really fun to like have those conversations, because like people have, like different opinions. Like I always love to hear like how someone like got started on the game and like what their experience is. Because I'm sure there's people out there like I've only played Dead Rising 3, or like people always ask like should I go back to play 1 or play 2? So thanks. I stream every Friday at this time, so I'll be here same time next week if you need me. But thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll be on Twitch. No, I need to really do that. But either way, thanks for watching, man. Right. Yes, I know I'm gonna need this. I should check. I know there's that hidden scoop for the poker, and I need to make sure that is this. I don't know if this is gonna list it. Okay, they do list it. It's during case 5. Okay. I just want to make sure I don't miss that one, because that was the big one. And I don't know. I think it just gives you money. If it gave you a combo card, that's really what I'm more concerned with. Which I guess case 5 comes up pretty fast here. This is actually a really good walkthrough now that I'm kind of reading it. Like, he's actually kind enough to list stuff like, oh yeah, there's Zombrex here, or what have you. Get down, Frank. It seems like it'd be really easy, like, don't even show the security boxes unless...
Right. Yes.
Unless you can open them. It's kind of a pain just doing this over and over, although I appreciate the cash.
Wicked.
I should get 2 Zombrex, as I say it.
Sweet. Hell yeah.
I also kind of wish Zombrex went over to like the next playthrough, because I really wish I didn't have to go bother with it all the time. Which I think you have to. I think in Dead Rising 2 you lose the game if you let Katie die. Can't recall that. Whereas it would be nice if you could just like let Katie get zombified but still play the game and she would just be missing. Off the top of my head, I don't even recall what the cutscene is for failing it. I think it's just Chuck's alarm goes off on his watch, and then he looks all sad. I think that's it. Ooh, can you get up there? You must be. I really haven't explored that zone, which I was surprised because like it doesn't. The game doesn't teach you about the you're in a zone at all. Maybe the sandbox mode does, but I thought, oh, there can be a ton of survivors there. Or, like, they'll make you use the rides, but they don't at all. Whereas at least the other survivors in 2 would be like, oh, they're hidden in a hidden area, so you go look up, oh, I didn't know about this area, or Zombrex is in there, so. Or a chainsaw, I'll take that. Yeah, where's the water? I'm hoping to stream more often too. I feel like I say that, but like, what's the point? Because like I have so much to do before I'm on that level. I have like this whole list of stuff I need to do. I just need to sit down and do it. At the same time, I want to also like chill. Like already, I need to get more sleep. In general, I drink way too much coffee. I think I drink like 7 cups of coffee a day at least. Depends on the day, but I go through a lot. And I think I blame that on, like, every single job I've ever had has always had free coffee, so it just became like a habit. So it's just been like, glug. It almost doesn't do anything for me anymore. I guess in a way it's also better, at least I'm not like, it'd be way worse if instead of coffee I was doing like rock stars or something where I'm just like, oh yeah, I drink 6 rock stars a day. This is a completely side story, but this reminds me, back when I was in like Boy Scouts, you have like a scout master and stuff, and the second one I had, his like thing is he was like really into Mountain Dew. Like really into Mountain Dew, and like not just like he likes it, like he would drink like, it's like, I get those like, I don't know what you call them, like sleeves.
Spot anything?
Hey, Frank.
Well, might as well go and get that. But no, like, you know, like that's like 12 pack of cans and stuff. I wonder, is Code Blue, it starts you off like really low. I wonder if he's there and you can find him, but if you don't find him right away, then you get the call about it. Fuck you. Anyway, he would go through like an entire 12 cans of Mountain Dew a day, just for like the caffeine. But there's like not that much caffeine in pop. Like it's a thing. I'm sure if you're sensitive to it, it matters. But if you need to drink 12 of them a day, like just take a caffeine pill or like switch to coffee, because coffee is amazing. I will say one of the benefits of like coffee is like it like stops you from being hungry, which is great for a diet. Like I know there's plenty of times like I'm drinking coffee, I'll have yogurt for like breakfast and I won't eat until like 1. I'm like, I'm okay. Or like you won't feel like peckish and stuff. Like I'm not sitting over here like eating an apple and then only drinking coffee or something all day, but it's nice. Plus, I don't know, get up, I pee a lot as a result, because like coffee dehydrates me, so I drink like, I think I drink like 6 or 7 of these a day, and these are like 3/4 of a liter. So it's nice. Every like 30 minutes, get up, stretch around, leave my desk. It's a good little habit, I think. But on the downside, I'm still also drinking that many cups of coffee a day, and that's probably a thing. Well, that was terribly framed.
Yeah.
They have these things. I really wish there was like a use for them. Like I just had a thought, like I really wish every survivor in the case files was savable. Obviously, you know, barring something like Carlito in Dead Rising 1. But it would be cool, like, oh, if you found the defibrillators, you could revive that guy, and that's how you saved him, and it would just be like a secret survivor. That could be really cool. And then you see like Sven be like, oh well, shit. Maybe I should have used those. If I recall, defibrillators are not used to restart your heart. They're used to even it out, usually. I think they can, but usually it's like more like you're going to a cardiac arrest. I had to go learn how, for one of my jobs, how to use like an AED, automated external defibrillator. And that was what they would say. It was like, you just put it on. It's like, don't wait until the person's dead. Or like, don't like make your own call, because the whole point of an AED is you put it on and they'll be like, yes, do this, or like, no, they're fine, take it off. Like, and then trust the thing. Don't trust like some people are like, no, you should shock him, because it's usually a bad thing. There's not a lot of situations where you'd want to shock someone. I don't know, random thing I had to do for a job once. God. It seemed like there was like a lot of years where I was like CPR certified and like first aid certified and all that. There was a point where I was like certified to teach that stuff, and now can't tell you how. I can't tell you that at all. Which it seems like so like not relevant. Like all those jobs I had as a teenager, it was super relevant to have that kind of stuff. And now it's like, why would I have to have CPR for like my job at a desk? Maybe because my code's that bad.
Hey, I'm waiting on you.
Oh, I still have these. It seems like they just reused the punch.
This way.
Alright. Check. Ah, the stream's bitching again. What is it? Yeah, I'm really sorry if the stream's weird. I really don't know what it is. Like, I could turn it down more, but I don't think it's gonna have that big of an effect. I just really think, I think it's just my internet's being shitty. I don't know if my roommate's doing it or something. I don't think that'd be the case unless he's like going crazy and uploading. Because it's the upload that, it's my upload speed that matters, not my download. That's also the other issue is it's really hard to get a higher upload speed on a residential connection. You can get it if you're a business, but I think I already said like, it's like $200 a month for business internet. It like skyrockets because like, oh, you're a business. Like, no, it's like, no. I just want better internet. Like, if I could get Google Fiber, oh my God, my life would take such an improvement. Especially like YouTube stuff, be like, and upload, done. Like literally, like if, in theory, if a video is less than a gigabyte, it should be like a second or two. It should be 8 seconds, I guess. Something like that. And you'd upload it. It'd be amazing. One day, I don't think it's coming out anytime soon. I think they said they're actually stalling. They're no longer expanding. And I like my ASP. It just does kind of suck that I can't like shop around. Like mine's really good. I have Cox, and they're pretty good. It is kind of annoying though. Like their business centers like is like literally across the street. And I could probably call them, I think, and like work it out a little bit more. Like, hey, why is it going down? Like, am I using my limit? Is it just not? Is that all your traffic receiving? Like maybe for all I know, like YouTube's having an issue and I can't accept it fast enough. Like maybe that's it. I don't know. I do think it's on my end though. Like I wish I could do like some more like diagnostics on it, but I think it might just be like the router. And I don't know. I could like, I can look into it more when I have some more time. Like I do think I could optimize it a little bit to kind of like make sure like YouTube traffic's getting sent out and maybe shut other stuff off. Like I don't really need, say, I don't really need my Xbox to be online when I play this because like I'm streaming it from my PC. So maybe that would help a little bit or something. But I don't really know until I just have to like sit and test it. It's one of those things where the only way to test it is to actually sit and go live and stream and watch the quality and just like mess with the settings. There is no like other way around that. And I do wish that there was like some way to run like diagnostics easier on that. Hold on, I'm gonna go here. I keep meaning to go do this. Hopefully unlock the car, but again, is it here or is it in the next one? Yeah, it's the next one. Like I want to see like where am I losing packets? Is it in my network? Is it not? Unfortunately, the router I have, everything I've seen, it doesn't log that. I really wish it would. Or even just like, I don't know, maybe my ping's just really bad, so it's slow. Like there's so many things with like streaming that everything has to be perfect for it to work, and it's very hard to figure out what's wrong. Nice. I should have grabbed that bargaining magazine. I knew I was gonna come here, or did I? Oh well, I just bought it because I thought I was hitting it. I felt so bad. Oh fuck you. There's a guy who's like, hey, I bought the car and then I went and saved it. How come I don't have the car anymore? Or I never got the car. And they're like, well, did you pick up the key? And he's just like, what key? Because he had bought the car but didn't pick up the key, and then he restarted the game, and so he just wasted $1 million. And he was just like, fuck. I was like, oh, sorry, dude. Anyway, let's take this out. I really wish Dead Rising 2 without the record was a little bit harder, because I do feel like with combo weapons, one thing you could do is you could really optimize a run through. So where am I going here? So like, there's a lot of weapons. Like I know, like when I was trying to make money, it'd be really cool if I could find out what's the best place. What was that? That was like a slide. That was cool. What's the best place to make the money hackers, which are like flashlight and a CPU, I think, computers. Well, like that'd be great if you could find like this is the best way. So every time you pass, grab that. Like that could help you optimize so much if you were just like, you didn't want to do poker or something, or what have you. I don't know. Like, there's so much room for doing cool like routing stuff for runs through Dead Rising's. Reason to speed run them, and because weapons are just like ultimately a lot of weapons are like reskins of each other. Do I slide? Oh, I slide like that when I have that outfit on, or I mean that weapon, because it's Mega Man. And I bet if I change it, yeah, that's it. That's cool. Oh, damn it! I meant to go do the cook. I guess this is better, because there's no survivors for this. Can I like kill zombies with this? Oh no. I was really hoping to like get some PP for a slide tackle. I always thought these transition areas were very, like, I don't know, ignored. Like, I felt they could have done more. Like, put some posters there at least. They're really dead visually. Okay. I'm also really hoping the Tape It or Die is here. Because I assume the Tape It or Die is also in this game. But... God, they were like the bane of my existence in 2. Like, every time I would do a run of the game, Tape It or Die would always fuck it up. Because it's like either, one, they just are glitchy. Like, you're supposed to like go down, they give you a quest, you have to be there at a certain time. And then I'd go there, I'm going to check it just because I'm right here. And I'd go there and like, I come back, the door's closed. And I don't know why. See, I assume it should be closed now. But it's like, it's within the time limit, so why is it not open? I got your stuff, god damn it. So pretty much I know I always go at the exact time whenever I do it, and I have to already have the stuff, because otherwise, fuck it. And then, if you deal with all that, then you have the privilege of their shitty escort mission at the last second. Which they don't tell you, but you have to do the shortcut for, otherwise you can't possibly save them in time. So, woo. I hate that when you like jump over a railing because it like counts as a platform and then you basically slide off of it. I'm gonna save. I remember this is like, there's a reason why this is here. And last time I didn't save, or like I saved like, oh, I should save, and sure enough it froze, or Dead Rising 2 froze, I think it was. I'm like, man, thank God I saved, so I think I'm gonna do that from now on. It is weird that they have a save slot right there.
Yes, sir. They're almost here. Move it. There is definitely a...
Oh yeah, this is a thing, isn't it? Where it's like, I like that they don't make you do more Psychopath. This is a fun way to play the game. I almost want to play the game as... I should do a challenge run of Dead Rising entirely first person. Because that won't work for Dead Rising 1, but for this it totally will. Just get like a ton of like guns, and just you have to run the entire game like this. Maybe not with this specific weapon because we kind of overpowered. It could be a lot of fun though. I know like there was a really cool Dark Souls run where someone played Dark Souls 1 entirely first person. Well, there's a couple. Like one where he did it with the bow, where he had to be zoomed in, which is like I guess the proper way. And then someone also released a mod that put your camera in the character's head, so it was like Skyrim, you had your swords, and it was like, it was super cool to watch because it was like so hard to play from that perspective. So I hate that they They start you out on like the wrong side of the fucking train. God damn. Can I not get up there? God damn. So I gotta go around this. And then it's still worth it to go back and get this car just so I can drive it that way. Because there's Zombrex, and then also it's a easy out for the tunnel. God damn it, I would shoot that. Now it's probably like, has like very little health. I would always do that in Dead Rising 1, like push the wrong button to get in a car while I had the Mega Buster out, and I'd like blow up the motorcycle or blow up the car, and like one hit, like, god damn it. Or it would like, oh, it's still fine, and then you hit one zombie, and that was like the zombie that broke the camel's back, so to speak. And it's just like, come on. Huh. This motorcycle's new, isn't it? But I don't remember. Oh, I was gonna say I don't remember this exit, but that's because it's in their Uranus zone. It's kind of cool. It seems like why not have the motorcycle portion since it works just as fine for Frank as it does for Chuck. I guess thematically it doesn't make as much sense. Get off, please. There we go. I'm trying to get used to playing with my... I added another paddle to my Elite controller. And... hold on, I need to go. There's an achievement for like going in so many main rooms. So I need to make a point to actually go into a whole bunch. Yeah, that was it. Wasn't it? Huh. I'm assuming... I'm really curious what you mix this with. I guess maybe an amplifier? No? No? Do it. Let me see if it actually tells me. I might actually have this. Not a case file. I don't actually know. There it is. Combo cards. I'm stupid. Fire extinguisher. Eh. That does not look like it's worth my time. Unless, yeah, I was gonna say, like, surely if they have this thing, they would have this. How do I do this? Oh, do I put it on them? No. How do I use this thing? It must be, do I hold X? See, like, I assume I put it on it. I don't understand. Do I activate this somehow? There we go. Yeah, it's like a thing, right? That is funny. I wish it was like freezing zombies under it or something. Oh, I guess there. It does. It does. That was cool. I wonder if that has any use. Like, I always felt that... Well, what's cool about Dead Rising is, in theory, I've never tested every combination, but in theory, psychos should have like one or two weapons that must just devastate them. Like, who knows? Maybe that does, like, minor damage, but maybe you can, like, lock the chef in the freezer and you, like, launch a zombie with that and it just shreds him. Who knows? Like, I know, like, what was it? This wasn't usually worth it, but if you got the weapon cart in Dead Rising 1 down to the butcher, it has the potential to absolutely destroy him. Usually didn't, but it had that potential to. And it was not worth the sheer amount of effort and frustration it took to get that thing down there. But man, it just shreds him. It shreds other ones too, but again, it's too much of a pain to bother with it. How are we looking on numbers? God. I think the stream's still having issues. I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to end this, but I might have ended earlier if it's still having issues. How is it on your end, guys? Is it just like constantly choppy again? Because I still have everything like turned way the fuck down, so I don't really know what I can do. I don't think restarting the router would be it, and I don't think I like selected. Let me see. Did I select like the wrong? No, I have like the same bit rate and stuff. Yeah, I really don't know what's up with that. I do almost wish that there was like a way to have like super delayed streaming in a way. Like, I don't know how you would do it, but almost like let me have a live video feed, but let me do it at 1080 and then just like layer it so that they'd be like, oh hey, you caught it up. If you want to watch this in 1080, we need to like you need to rebuffer essentially, so that if you wanted to, you could watch something in 1080 and just be like, oh well, hey, I came an hour late, so let me be like an hour behind, but watch it really high, and then I could still stream it at that thing. I don't know how you necessarily work that out. Or that it would say, I could say stream the 1080 a lot easier and have that look good somehow, but then only like someone save the 1080 so it stays on my channel, but only but like the average streamer just, God, why are you taking no damage, Antoine? Why are you meal bitch? Was there a range limit on this? Is that what I'm saying? That is a spoiled lobster in the back. See, it really bugs me that they give those like damage resistance things. I always thought that was like super unfair. I never actually tried a sniper rifle here. It's probably actually really great because the big issue is he just runs away from you. But that's not an issue at all, I guess. Headshot. Because you see, if he's just gonna run there, I can just pop him. I've actually never done this, and the sniper rifle's like very readily available, too. So. I wonder how Jasper will be in this fight. Like, if you wanted to speed run this, if you brought Jasper in, he might be like really good though, and you need to go get him anyway. Because it's one of those things you never test in Dead Rising is how well do survivors fare against psychos. And it can be surprising. Like, I've always been a proponent of take the Chinese tourists, give them guns, and use them in the Adam fight. It's very helpful. Because for whatever reason, Adam won't like go after them. So instead they just stand there with infinite ammo. Adam blocks, but he'll just be stuck there because they'll just be like bang, 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 bang. It's awesome. He'll just slowly die. If you absolutely can't kill him, that works. Or go see that goddamn man. Also very useful. Nice. Looks like Frank's just like getting here for the show. Way easier than it was last time.
That does not smell like chicken.
Okay. Wonder why that's there. I don't remember that being there because it sticks out so much. Let's get some food. Fuck off, zombie. I just want to get some pasta. Oh man, pasta sounds like so good right now. I can't wait till tomorrow's like my... Tomorrow's Saturday, yeah. Tomorrow's like my cheat day. I'm gonna go ham. It's gonna be great. I recently like doubled down my diet because like I have this thing where it's like I've been dieting for like the last 6 months, but because I essentially had cheat days on Thursday and Saturday and sometimes more, it worked, but it was like way more delayed than I really wanted it to be. So yeah, I just want to kind of like speed that up. I think I like started like 250 when I lived in the apartment, and I'm down to 230 as of this morning. So that's good. It's like one thing I always wanted to do, but it really sucked when I was in college because like one, it's college. Like I don't want to. It's not a time I want to diet. I want to have fun. Like go out to like a bar with someone, or like oh hey, we're having this awesome meal. I don't want to be like the dude who doesn't get to go or what have you. Side note, like or like I was in fraternity. Honestly, like, the worst part was being in the fraternity because like we had like a chef who would make dinner and lunch for us, and there was definitely some times where it'd be like, Jasper, you get the fuck down here. It'd be like someone's birthday, and they'd be on like a Friday, and she'd make like all you can eat wings on Friday. So you go to like the bar because it's someone's birthday, you drink a good amount, and not necessarily like it's a lot of like liquor as much as it is just like a lot of like a really high calorie beer, and then you come back and you're like, oh my god, all you can eat free wings, hell yeah, and that it was just awesome. Gosh, Jasper, I will come and punch you the fuck down there.
Quick, follow me.
Go.
Move it. Go over there.
So close, come on. I think maybe he's only coded to go down this way.
Hustle it up. Hurry, this way. Hey,
This is stuff I know if I played this game more often, but sucks when you don't know it. Why? Did I fuck up the chat? No, okay.
Speed it up. Let's hustle it up. Hey, keep up.
God, Frank must have some stellar knees to do all this knee drops. What else was talking about that? Yeah, come here tomorrow. I don't want to just like talk about it. I'm gonna eat so much. Like when it's like the only day to like go out, you're like, should I get this? Should I get this? I want to get everything. I had that problem when I want to get breakfast. It's like, well, I want to eat French toast and eggs and pancakes and sausage and hash browns, but also then you have like this massive meal. You don't know who I am. Kind of just skips that dialogue. She just assumes you already talked to her. So what else? Oh, industrial fashion. Already I'm doing better. Last time I like saved this until I had barely any time left, and that really screwed me over. Around 8 p.m. Wait, what? Maybe I did miss someone. Hold on. I never got the once bitten scoop. Once bitten, which is... It says around you finish up 2-2. It should be around 8 p.m. Which would have been like 4 hours ago. And that's... Hold on, I might have missed this guy. These are the psychos. I like that they're actually sorted that way to be psychos. Is that guy? I don't necessarily gotta save everyone. I just mainly want to fill this out. Pretty sure I'll recognize him though. I think that's him. Thing is, I think I'm pretty sure I got a death notice on Chad, even though I didn't save him, or even though I never met him. But where he would, if I get the call at 8 p.m., I assume this would still be active, wouldn't it? Which I guess it's on the way, so it shouldn't matter.
Quick, follow me.
And you go check it. It's Pub of Gold, which I think is, god damn it, isn't it right over here? Take it right, yeah. Huh. Don't know. I'm gonna take a look. It should still be active. I don't think it, if it's only 4 hours long maybe, but why would I not get a scoop? Surely it can't be the 8 survivor rule, right?
Keep up. Hurry it up.
I mean, maybe it's hidden.
Let's go.
No, it's because it says you get a call. I remember doing that one, and that was the reason why I had to go get Zombrex. But why is it...
Keep up.
Why do I not have that call? I'm pretty sure I didn't do it. But it sounds like I'm way ahead of this guide, and he's not dead yet. Maybe they updated. I always thought it'd be interesting if they made these random. I honestly think that they should just like, make like 200 survivor scoops. And they don't have to be that interesting, but then just like randomly choose when they are. And so then the point isn't necessarily about mastering, getting every single person, but as just like save as many as you can. And then you could have like, oh well, like what combinations did you get like this time? I always thought that'd be interesting. I mean, it could also be the most annoying thing ever. And I'm sure that would suck for the 8 survivor rule, which why is that even a thing anymore? Like, is that, I guess, a technical limitation? I mean, I don't know if that was an issue with Dead Rising 3 or what, but
This way. Let's go. Hey, keep up.
really curious. Did I just miss this guy entirely? Yeah, doesn't he have a barricade when he's in here? No, he's here. I just never got a call. Maybe it's another one where like the scoop starts earlier, I think, but you don't get a call till later. I think that might be it instead. Give me a second. I'm gonna go take a break quickly. Be right back. Give me like 5 minutes. Shouldn't be too long. And I'll be right back. Okay, we should be back. So I had said earlier, I just put on like, get the fuck up. I just put on new. I'm gonna have to carry him, so that means I have to go back for industrial fashion. Fuck. Anyway, just take your money. So I just put these on, and it's really weird when you put on new paddles, because it's like I'm not used to having these. Even like it took me forever to get used to having the one. And I went back to play Destiny because they're having like their big PvP event this week.
Follow me.
Like Iron Banner, if you know what that is. And let me tell you, it's just like it's really weird. I wonder if maybe I could get both if I had like this car. There we go. So, and it's so weird because like I had it on for Gears, and that's one of the main reasons I wanted to add it. But that wasn't that big of a deal because I have it on the A button right now. But let me tell you, oh my god, when you're in a game that's like a lot more affected, like there I would have to use it to jump, and it feels like you can feel yourself like, I guess like learning is the way I would put it, because your brain just like, at least mine is, you can feel like this doesn't make sense. It's like if I all of a sudden had another limb and I was just like, I don't understand. It feels weird. That's why. Plus, you have to like all of a sudden be really aware of how you hold the controller. Like when I first put it on, I was like, I had to hold the controller like this, because otherwise I would push too many buttons. And then I took them off, and I'm slowly putting them back on and learning it. Even now, though, I can't find like a perfect grip. Like it's a little bit too awkward in every possible iteration. Fucking get off me, Jared.
I can see two construction workers trapped.
Oh,
in
did I?
the section.
Oh, I can pull that out. That's interesting.
Speed it up.
No one gives a shit about you sitting up. Fine. You're driving her, I guess. Well, that's some mad drift right there. Of course not. This car handles way differently in this game than it does in Dead Rising 2.
Get over there.
Thankfully, she does not get in this. It's like way more slippery. Oh, that's gonna be a revert for Jared, isn't it? What's up, bitch? You a fuck. There we go. I gotta say, I do play way sloppier because I know I can just revert those checkpoints. They are awesome, but they take away a lot of suspense of the game, because you might as well take like really crazy, I guess like bets almost is what I would call them, because there's no reason not to when you can just revert pretty easily. Jasper, get the fuck out. Fine. I really need to get this guy. The other guys can. Oh, fuck no. I don't know why I went to restart story. I was like really specific. I was like, da restart story yet? Oh wait, no. I don't want to do that. I don't know why. Stream seems better though. I think it always though. It's got to be some kind of weird congestion issue. Let's see. Go over there. Wait, you can walk, can't you? Because of a magazine. That's right. That's a thing.
Hustle it up. Let's go. Come on, speed it
So I don't necessarily need to get anyone in this car. So what the magazine does is it kind of like upgrades your survivors to like a tier. I don't really know how to describe it the best way, but like if they can't walk, I think it makes it so they can somewhat. If they are slow, it makes them normal. If they're normal, it makes them fast. Is how I think that works. Which that magazine is super amazing for certain situations. Really? Fuck you. I hope. I've never had them defect like that so quickly. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna nudge him. Like normally they only defect if you like you're committed. But that guy's like, no. Like, bitch, I barely hurt you.
Hey, I'm waiting on you. Keep up. Let's go.
Should probably escort more. I wish they would get a little bit farther before getting grabbed. Like I said, like in Dead Rising 2, you can pretty much straight up ignore them, but now it feels like they almost just get instant grabbed if I go too far away. And I don't know, maybe there's zombies that spawn next to them or something if that happens, but still.
You go there.
Oh yeah, you defect because I hit you with a bumper, but not that. I back over you and do way more damage. So, where are you going? You want to ride? You want to ride, Cinda? You want to get in? No? Okay. I think they must not get in if you have a waypoint set. Like, that must be a thing there, too. Can I fit this? Oh, yeah. Ooh. Well, that's cool. You can just press Y and they get in. That's actually... I thought the car was too big to take it in here. This would be... I can only imagine if like Sullivan like climbed out of this vent and just like, why do you have a car? It's a long story. Get him back.
Let's move.
What's up, Jamie? Oh fuck, I didn't want to drink that. I think I'm gonna go at least until after I get these guys back. 'Cause I want to get some stuff before I go to bed. I want to go to bed fairly early because I have to get up tomorrow. Because normally it'd be like, oh, I still usually get up early, like around like at least like 9-ish, 9:30. But I have this whole thing. Like, so, oh yeah, I was gonna talk about work. I have, so for software, you bundle all your like changes you make into what we call like kits. And then essentially every 3 months they push the kit into like the actual like live code. And that's always on the weekend because since I'm like an investment firm and if the stocks are closed, the stock market's closed on the weekend. So it's not an issue if we do big stuff like that. But I essentially have to like remote into my PC and then you have to like, God, I have to like, hey, are all your changes there? And like, yes. This is like the 4th time I've had to check the same stuff, but it is still there. Cool. Okay, we're gonna put it into like the disaster recovery server, which is like what they revert to in case everything goes wrong. It's like, okay, it's still there. Like, yep, still there. Like, make sure it works. Like, okay, it works. And then, like, okay, well now we're gonna wait for everyone else to make sure their stuff works. Cue a 1-hour wait where you have to remain like on the phone call, but your work's done, but you can't leave. And then that happens, and then you go through that again, a whole thing, and it'll be like, it'll probably take until noon. And I'm salary, so I don't get paid anymore for it. It's just kind of like part of the job. And it's not like, I don't actually mind it that much. At all, it's just kind of like, it'd be cool to get a bonus. Or like to be, if, being salary is like full of stuff like, I don't know if anyone cares, like, if I know I'm going to work an extra 3 hours on Sunday, does anyone care if I leave at like 3 on Friday? That kind of stuff. Like, I'm sure probably not. But at the same time, they might. So. God, I just realized since I spent that $1 million, I'm going to have to get another $1 million for the case files, which isn't going to be an issue, I guess, because of the high rollers. Which, speaking of which, is coming up. Just sign like Code Blue, tastes like chicken. Case 3. Hanging out. What's hanging out? Oh shit. I don't recognize the scoop. Around 1 a.m. Oh, so this I might have to revert. It says around 1 a.m. a couple of idiots spawn without any call, so you have to be near Palisades Mall. Huh. I'm gonna try this, and this might be where I'm gonna skip industrial fashion. I'm gonna go, I guess, the fast. I always think this connects to Palisades for some reason, but it's. I guess I need to go take this left. So it turns out there's two. Yeah. Your life is full of work outside of work. I feel ya. So apparently there's 2 people that are like hanging, about to fall to their deaths, and you have to like get them something soft to fall on. But it's an unmarked scoop entirely. Why would they give you a car here? There's nowhere to drive it. The dick move. Also a dick move. So can I go straight there? Can't I? Yeah. This is gonna suck if I have to revert. Although I think I might have saved. Fuck. I really think this is just... This is kind of dumb that they would put that. And it's like, apparently it sounds like it's super time dependent. And it doesn't necessarily make sense. You have to wander into Palisades Plaza. But there's no reason you'd be over there unless, I guess, you didn't do the artist scoop. You have to see them, and you have to quickly do it before they fall to their death. But you can't, like, catch them, I guess. You have to, like, put this down. I also do like one thing is you no longer drop your weapon when you do the double area. That's a small change. I'm not looking forward to doing extra work tomorrow. I really just want to get up. I guess it's better than last time I had to do it. It was at like 7 o'clock on a Sunday night. So that was kind of annoying. Wait, what? Did I just... Did I just take a really dumb... Wait, was I outside? Oh, I guess I did. I was confused. I guess I didn't realize I left the Uranium Stone. I thought I was still wandering around that. I'm gonna be so annoyed if they're dead. But I also don't know where they spawn. It says I should go for the entrance behind Hot Excitorama, which is like the one I never use. It's like almost the hidden entrance. I don't know why it's even there. It's like how there's that one entrance to Yucatan, I think, from the Silver Strip that you get from that one where TK is trying to like get into the vaults. And it's just like there, but it doesn't make any sense. I need to get a bowl. God. It was a good stream tonight, though. It's always good to see like a good turnout. I always love when there's like people that are like really active in the chat. Helps speed stuff up. Getting texts. Where is this? I literally never use this. It's behind Hot Excitorama. Oh, you know, that's this. Oh, I know where to go. God, Frank has like really good moves for this. I don't understand why this would be here. Or play to a second, JV. Like, I guess maybe they felt that there was a need for some kind of shortcut. I guess they have a lot of stuff that's dependent on Palisades, and you have to go around, so this way they just have like a direct access. But yeah. I wish they gave you, like, they told you when these guys were dead, because they don't. So I know I need to go behind the toy store. And they should be over here somewhere. If they are here. There he is. It's a cool idea for a scoop, actually. I will admit that. But I just hate these fucking unmarked scoops, man. It's like going back to like Skyrim, like that zombies art just popped out. I like Skyrim, but I hate just how hard it is. Like, there's more content in the game. They're like, well, just no. How do I put it down and not? Oh, I see. It even tells me. Well, that was interesting. Might be literally the worst. Does he not even talk to me? Can I not pick this back up?
Come on! Follow me! Hurry up!
God, you are terrible. Oh my God.
This way!
Go like... Oh, that's cool. They even have this right here. So there's another guy somewhere. I'm really glad I pulled this guide up. Mark and Irvin. Head to the other side of the grotto. So he should be on the other side if he's still alive. Because he will fall. They will just like straight up fall, I guess. I'm afraid like one's dead and the other one isn't. And there's literally no way for me to know that. Let me head up here though. I don't see. It also bugs me that there wasn't like a part. I guess, am I just missing him? One must fall off earlier. Let's see. I think one of them can die from waiting too long. I don't think the other one can. It says the other side of the grotto. But maybe he meant... Fuck you. Where's Mark? God damn it. And I'm sure like they're gonna have some fucking card I'm gonna need. I'm gonna revert. I think also if I head straight here, I can make some better time. I don't know, I'm probably gonna end it there though, because like I want to revert. I don't want to go do all that again. I'll probably pick it up probably next stream, since I have something that'll give me something to do, and I'll go through and I'll go do some of the achievements and stuff. Like I know like I think I'll be able to do the Denise one a lot faster. I still haven't looked, but I'm pretty sure you can speed up the time by watching movies. I haven't tested that yet though. It's a fun game. I'm enjoying it way more now that I'm a lot more like leveled up. But I don't know. I really hate those scoops. They're unmarked, and they're just like they exist to annoy. And I feel like I don't know what the logic is. I guess just so like you don't learn about them all on your first time through. But something like that just seems like I don't know. Like they had this animation of someone hanging, and it's like we should use it because they didn't write any dialogue for them. They didn't like have a scoop. It just seems like it was a last minute thing to add more survivors, I guess. I don't actually know if there's any point to save these guys. If they don't give you... Yeah, I guess if they don't give you a card, which I don't think they do, and there's no achievement for saving a bunch of survivors, I don't know what the point is. There might be some other unlock. Yeah, my guy doesn't specify if there's a combo card or not, but I don't think there's any reason to get these guys. Other than just to say, oh, I did it. Fill out, like maybe there's, I didn't look like, maybe there's an achievement like fill out the notebook, which means save everyone at least once or something. But either way, thanks for watching. I'm going to cut it here. If you ever want to get in contact with me, I got my contact info to, this is my left, this would be your left too. Your right. It's reversed for me. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can reach me there. If you ever want to just like text me, be like, oh, what are you doing for the stream this weekend? I'll be like, oh, I'm doing Off the Record, or I'm gonna go play Chop Till You Drop. Chop Till You Drop is 2 weeks from today, by the way. It's the Wii version of Dead Rising 1. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna be joined by a guest, hopefully. Otherwise, I'll be back next Friday. I'm planning on streaming Gears 4 every Sunday. Come on out, even if you don't necessarily like Gears, because it's gonna be a little bit more like, it's less about Gears, more about like a talk show. Actually, now I think about it, if I'm going to be doing that approach, I should actually... I've been doing like my ratios like I do on this, where it's like lots of game, less me. But I should probably do more 50-50. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having a lot of guests on that. Be like, oh, tell me about yourself, what have you. And it should be a lot of fun. Give me a little bit more use of streaming and stuff. I'm hoping to finish up some more of that D&D so I can show off a little of the more interesting parts, like a little trailer when I have to like go to the bathroom or something. Should be great. I'm gonna do great stuff on the channel. Just I gotta find some time. Really, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next Friday.